Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
And a high fly ball into left field. That is way back there. And that is going to be a gone home run. Another 3-2. Muncy into center field. Freeland turns and runs. That ball's deep. Freeland jumps. And it is up and out of here. Max Muncy. A home run to center field with 2 outs and 2 strikes. And it's 3-1 Dodgers.
Allen up ahead to Matthews, in with 9. Matthews walks right in, deep across for 9 for Matthews, scores! Oh, what a goal! The Leafs lead 5-2.
Like, it's just such a big number, 897. Breaking it down like that.
Gets along net, scores! Perfectly set up.
You know, I coached there years ago. It's kind of irrelevant to your question, but like the type of kids they have, tough, hard-nosed, gritty kids, and having watched them through the years, their ability to run the football and kind of control the line of scrimmage with their big O linemen and their good backs. Now they got a good young quarterback, a couple good receivers that you can see. I know the back's been hurt a little bit, so they've gotten away from the run game, and then they've been down in some games to get away from the run game. But I think they're going to try to run the football on us again. I think you'd be a fool not to try that on us. We've got to try to establish the line of scrimmage and then do a good job of affecting this young quarterback who, makes a lot of good throws.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man.
Yeah.
We're making it.
We're doing all right?
Fudge. Yeah. Music did not treat me well last night. It kept me up.
Uh-oh.
This morning, as you can tell, I flipped a coin. I decided to come in.
I was going to say, you were in the car for a minute.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah.
I expected a text message any moment.
I thought about it, but I'm not a quitter. So I didn't want anybody mad at me. So we made it.
Whoever gets mad at you.
Fudge, you'd be amazed.
I mean, besides Coach Queen.
No, I was
He kind of stays mad at everybody, doesn't he?
I was looking at some people do. I was looking at a thread yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
A couple guys just crying over me being abrupt. I was interrupting Sam during the interview. And sometimes I just want to say, like, I get it. Like, I'm going to be the one that, like, I've earned what comes with the position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put it to you like that. I'm not going to whine. But all I could think about was when you talked about kind of what's already in the vault when you hear information and what you want to hear. And I'm like, of the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of interviews, I'm going to have some times where I'm just not trying to hear it. So I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because there's been plenty of times where I just let people go. Right?
Yeah.
Like I've been cussed out on my own show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we let it ride.
Yeah.
We let the guests go. Sometimes it's, well, why didn't you challenge him? Why did you let him say this? I can't believe he said this. And so I sometimes I try to explain to people, usually my give and take, my level of patience, I typically try to keep it at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times it just depends on who I'm talking to.
Yeah. I mean, you and Sam have that's somebody that it doesn't, like when you talk to Sam in a certain way versus, and not like you even talked to him. I didn't even think you were talking
like
to
I
him in a
wouldn't
certain
talk
way.
to Sam the same way I talk to Shafe.
Yeah. And
Right.
it's just
Like
a
I
different
have to
relationship.
understand, well, their personalities.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think that's important. And when you want information, right? Like I've said this for years, like different people are going to, the same person is going to sound different with me than they may with somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. Foreman and I have a different rapport. Sip and I have a different rapport than, like it just is what it is. But anyway, I say all that to say, not to explain myself, but like Sam's a big boy and we talk quite a bit. We talk probably, I don't know, of guys in the, like what I call like the actual real media. I mean, outside of Kendi, I probably talk to Sam the most.
Really?
So I would say so. It's not a.
Those wouldn't have been my first two guesses, I don't think.
Give me one, and I could be missing it.
Well, I guess how do you consider the Husker 24/7 guys like me? Or are you talking just like newspapers, TV?
Newspaper TV.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, certainly not the recruiting guys.
Yeah.
Because that probably is Shafe.
I would say, because I know you talk to the Husker 24/7 guys a lot. I know you talk to like Tim a decent amount.
Yep.
So yeah, if we're not counting websites, then yeah that makes sense.
So,
because I don't even know. I mean, outside of like Kevin, there's not that many other ones left, honestly.
and I think part of it starts from almost being misrepresented. I think people confuse why I think Coach Rule is doing what he's doing with whether he would entertain it or not. Whether he'd entertain something or not is not for me to decide. Whether I think he'll do it or not is something I'll speculate on.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So that just is what it absolutely is. But it's just a weird stretch because my dad's birthday was the other day, and I'm getting, for as close as I can get, anxiety. I don't know what you call what I get. I don't know if it's anxiety because I compartmentalize and I shove, and then I get on and I ramp up, then I ramp down and I ramp up.
I'd probably call it high functioning anxiety.
So yeah, whatever the mechanism is,
because you cope with it well.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Yeah, it's just parts people can't see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I call it high functioning.
So, with the memorial service Saturday and prep on Friday in Minnesota, and just family in general, it's just like
it's a lot going on.
Did I come in today? So at least I didn't circle the block.
You
sat that pretty good.
Yeah, yes. Man, every once in a while, you'll go around the building a couple times.
I know, right? But I saw the little engine that could puff of smoke from Train's little engine, or from Shane's little choo-choo train. I was like, man,
if he can do it, I can do it.
I'm like, I don't want that little guy just talking to you by himself. I gotta help Shane.
You gotta protect him.
Yeah.
Why?
That's my personality, though, right? Like, I gotta make sure everybody's.
You'll talk yourself into something, not because you want to do it, because
I gotta make sure everybody's okay. So that's how we function. I just don't know why I'm not getting this little dude's emails.
For what it's worth, I will say regarding the Sam conversation, I had a bunch of people tell me they really enjoyed it. Like
it just depends, right? So, and I take it with a grain of salt, and I'm very comfortable with.
You've been doing this well.
With what I do, and so, but I don't ever want to be so comfortable where I don't. Where I'm not cognizant of what's
you don't still reevaluate.
Yeah. But I had, and it wasn't anything super in depth. We were just deciding to go to lunch, but I made the mistake of going back and forth with Kugler.
Oh,
so he kind of set the stage.
Really?
Yeah, man. Because, I like how he handles his business, and he has some components in his personality that I don't possess. So I kind of want to. I want to, you know me.
Yeah.
I want to take a few of them.
Yeah. You're like, wait, how do I get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
Because
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like talking to, even when I don't sometimes agree with people or I do or whatever. Like, I always wonder, like, if there's something I can take.
Yeah.
Just to, just keep building. Because I want to be like this complete machine.
Yeah.
I want to still pump bud, but like this, I want to be complete, right?
Yeah.
So I want to take a little bit of that. I want to take a little bit of that. I want to take a little bit of that. And so he just had me all, without saying much, he like had me like super dialed.
I don't know Kugler super well. That seems very on brand.
Yeah, just his ability to.
Like, I wish I knew him better because I hear a lot of stories like this about him.
His ability to function at a high level, regardless of what's going on around him, is impressive.
Yeah,
it is. Now he has a lot of different tools that he uses that we go back and forth with it. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know you could do that.
So like his coping mechanism, he's got.
He's just done it long enough to where I don't know if he has it down. I'm sure he has
still works through.
He has his own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, with so much going on and opinions and negativity and being out amongst it, like functioning at a high level is like the challenge.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want life to win. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. You like, I'm just not gonna give in. But you don't want it to be at your own detriment either.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that can get self-destructive too.
Well, yeah, it's like 310, and I'm like, shut her down. I went through 2 wireless
Headphones?
well, I use my pods. I didn't even use the new headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're easy. I popped because I do 1 ear at a time, so I'm going to do a right, a left, a right, a left. I mean, just like maybe I need to do battery life.
I don't know how
They hurt though, man.
Yeah, I don't like wearing those.
God, they suck.
I was trying to. So have you tried the bone conducting ones?
Is that the wraparounds?
No. So they do wrap around, but they just like sit on the outside.
No, I probably need. And I have extremely baby ears.
Yeah. So they like here. If you can see my ear here, they like sit right here.
Oh, I got you.
And they don't go in your ear.
So I use the one the kids do.
Yeah, I like the over ear ones.
Like, and they're fine, but
you might like these. So they they sit on the outside of your ear, and it's like a different type of technology, so it doesn't go right through your eardrum. It like
so the
conducts
downside
to the bone.
is my own insecurity, because even like on the plane or when I was walking or whatever, I don't like them around my neck.
Oh.
So I have to take them off and I put them away and I zip them up
because
I don't know what to do with them when I'm not listening. I guess some people just let them sit there, but I never want to be this guy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's usually where I go.
Really?
Yeah. If it's like short term, because I don't like.
It doesn't seem very like I can't. Don't you you kind of just gotta like sit still.
No, so it depends on. This is very specific. Depends on the situation. If I'm like in an airport, which is normally where I would do that, I'm probably wearing a hat. So I let them rest. I actually flip them forward on the hat, so that they can sit and I don't have to worry about them bouncing off my head. But I don't like them down here either, because this is weird. The material always gets caught in my beard and pulls, and it hurts.
Hey, how did we get to the deal where you were? What was the shaving of the beard thing online?
Oh yeah,
there's no way you agree.
No,
how did we get there?
So somebody put out. I think it was probably On3 because they're the ones doing all this stuff. But somebody put out a list of coaching candidates for the Penn State job. And there was like 10 names. So it wasn't just Coach Rule. It was Signetti. It was Manny Diaz, a bunch of guys like this, right?
Yeah.
So, and I said, Penn State's next coach isn't on this list. And I said, I will take friendly wagers on this.
Oh, and so my proposition, your own beard?
No, somebody said you should buzz your head. And I was like, yeah, I would do that. And somebody's like, and then somebody else was like, but I said no beard. I was like, I'll do my head. I won't do the beard.
Well, aren't you already contemplating cutting your hair?
Yeah, that's why I was like, sure, why not? So that's an easy one.
Where'd you have that epiphany?
About buzzing the hair?
Yeah.
You want to know the truth? This is a little, embarrassing.
No, but you told me.
Yeah.
You unsolicitedly like 5 days ago.
Well, no, it was somebody else was talking about buzzing their head or something, and so I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. But
this was off air though.
Yeah, so you know what it was. As I was looking down one day when we had the cameras here, and I was like, it's a little thinner up here than I'd like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, maybe it's about time to buzz it.
Oh, don't let me fool you. Like, I'm super paranoid. I know, like, this thing is so misshapen. It's like.
I used to buzz my hair all the time, though.
Yeah. Hey, do you see what Stank brought up? We were shocked at how that thing was growing back.
Yeah, that thing was moving.
We just said that yesterday.
I did. I tagged Will Compton because I was trying to get some run.
Neither one of us thought that his hairline was doing that until it started to grow back.
Yeah.
I was like, that's interesting.
No, that thing was going.
I did not think that's how it was going to grow back.
The grow back.
Because when he has hair, it doesn't look like that, but it is.
It's
straight
thick.
Running away from his face.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. He probably keeps it long enough. There's some tricks you can do.
I don't know. Like this guy over here.
Well, yeah, it's did James get brought to you on Tuesday?
No. So yesterday was Coach Rule's wife, and I felt weird about using her head up here because I didn't want people to like, well, why does he have his, you know what I mean? I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because the backstory, you guys, is this whole thing started with my folks in Nebraska City. And every week they're really creative. So, a couple of years ago, you were on the Dion thing. Mm-hmm. And
they did the Bo Jackson one.
They've done Bo Jackson. Yep. They did Steph Curry.
I'm surprised they haven't made a Trevor
They do
Lawrence one
yet. They use heads of a lot of the hot topics.
Yeah.
right? Of whatever
like
it is.
Like when one of us has like a rant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
or in this case, the like the popular news.
Yeah. So yesterday I walk in and it's it's Coach Rule's wife, and I was just in tears. And I sent it to Coach Rule. He's like, "Yeah, I don't get it." And it's hard. It's hard to discern because it's like, I don't get it. Like, you're weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Explain later.
Yeah.
But I didn't either because it's Minnesota week and I'm not messing with it. So I'll wait for you to hit me up if you want to know. But it's crazy, man. It is. It's just so much going on.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Well, and you forgot about one of the big things going on.
I doubt I forgot.
Well, you didn't bring it up.
You asked me about speaking to DJ about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He is going. He's leaving. They're going. He gets to go to practice for Southern Cal Thursday, Friday.
Oh, nice.
And then so he'll miss the memorial service on Saturday.
Shoot.
But yeah. How about that experience? The Notre Dame SC thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about the number?
What is the number?
9 and a hook.
Oh, it went up.
Does that make sense? Is Notre Dame just going to beat Southern Cal up?
I don't. Well, listen, I thought
Maybe.
I thought Michigan was going to, and they did not.
Yeah, I still don't know how Michigan wants to play, though.
Maybe.
Watching Michigan against SC on the plane was the first time I was confused about Michigan's identity.
Can I give a hot take?
Well, what did you think I was forgetting about? It's not the Dodgers, so don't say that.
No.
I had to listen to Pat
Producer Pat.
Yeah, and so I paused my music because I know what time he comes on in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he was railing on Ohtani again. And I was like, just because you love the Yankees and you think Judge was unfairly, criticized over his postseason, the Yankees were losing.
Yeah.
So he was contributing to and I was even telling St. Louis Jordan last night, he's like, why would you pitch to Ohtani? I go, because he has a hole in his bat. And he goes, well, I still wouldn't pitch to him. I go, no, this dude has a hole in his bat.
Yeah, he was flailing out the backside on.
He's not even getting good swings.
Yeah.
Even the RBIs, it was like, he leaned into it.
Yeah, he's looked bad the last couple games.
Yeah, I mean, the Mariners, he's got 15 Ks?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's 5 hits, 15 Ks.
Yeah, he's not seeing it.
So, I mean, I don't know. Do you really want to get in the habit of walking Ohtani to get to bets?
Somebody you like significantly more than Ohtani is involved on Friday.
Somebody that I like significantly more than Ohtani. Well, that could be a lot of people.
Oh, that's a low bar.
Shoot, that's Shane. Shane, what are we doing Friday?
Oh, we got a good lineup on Friday.
We gonna cheer on. We gonna cheer on the Warriors and Prep. What are we doing?
We got Coach on.
He goes, they hate your guts. I was like,
who, Prep?
Yeah, I was like, that. Do they? Do they? But he, of course, doesn't take much to get him fired up. I'm like, it's a little early.
Yeah.
I hate to be surly, but
nah.
Shoot, man.
It's never too early to be surly.
Apparently not.
No.
Baby steps.
Possibly.
And it's our last home game.
I'll probably say your second favorite coach in the area is involved on Friday.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I think it might be. If Rule's number one, I think this guy's number two. We just talked to him, I think, last week.
It's got to be Mac.
Yeah, they've got Iowa State on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
He's probably number two. I mean, you don't have to give a definitive ranking.
I love him. Yeah. Max.
I liked his mood on when we talked to him
See,
last
that's
week.
kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I liked his mood. I
like,
think the
he's going to be good with us.
Yeah, and I also,
we have and I get it. It's not just, I'm not saying that.
No.
But I do think it would be hard to be, given our relation, it would be hard for him to just be like, yes, no. Like we must, I was like, hey man, I have this is the longest I've gone without talking to you in the offseason. How you been?
Yeah.
Like that was my first question.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely.
Yeah, you like him a lot.
Yeah, and he gives it.
I do too, but I don't know.
He gives a temp check, you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. But yeah, that's
Oh, Jay Saudi says maybe Coach Manning is number 2. I think it's a crowded field. It's a crowded field.
Can I tell you how he made one of my? So I was on the struggle bus right before broadcast, and
on Saturday,
I'm not gonna say the game.
Oh, okay.
And Jess goes, "Hey, DB, you up there? Are you on headsets?" And I go, "Yeah, what's up?" And she goes, "Somebody wants to talk to you," and it was Coach Manning.
Oh, nice.
Like right before the national anthem.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Damon." And I just was like, "Coach, what's up?" Like we're getting ready to go on there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, it's a competitive list."
I mean,
like I like
Flan.
A lot,
you love Flan.
I like a lot of guys.
I think we are.
I go break bread with Crutch.
I think we are very lucky.
We're super fortunate
with and like I don't know some of these guys the way you do, but like I've never heard a bad word about Hoiberg. I know you love Amy Williams.
We were together on New Year's.
Hoiberg?
Yeah.
Nice.
Long time. He's good dude.
Seems super cool.
Good dude.
Seems you and Coach Williams are close. I know she's retired now, but like I know you love Coach Booth.
Yeah.
Coach
Williams was my neighbor.
I was gonna say, yeah, you guys are like
we got fish together, groceries, yeah. She's cooler than a fan.
Yeah, so we're pretty lucky with the coaches we have, I think.
Yeah.
In our area.
And especially for like the proximity and chumminess of the media. Like it's hard to understand. I know people like go through this, well, ask him this and do that and press him for this. And sometimes I think it's very hard to balance the relationship with the job. Right? I mean, it kind of just goes. So sometimes you rather not be that close.
Yeah,
but then sometimes it's advantageous too. So
yeah,
you just gotta kind of play with it. But I was a day late on Franklin because I wanted to make sure we got Fleck yesterday because
it is Minnesota week. I don't know if
he's been talking to the media a ton too.
Yeah,
he has been very truth telling.
Yeah, his team's weird this year.
So that's why I was dead set on getting Burns all week. Is because, with his like his site and what they do, like I want to know what the pulse is and how Minnesota. Isn't it funny how everybody thought that was his grandkids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. He's 66, but those are his sons. The only grandkids Pat Murphy has he has granddaughters.
Yeah.
Those are his sons.
Well, listen, families are complicated.
He might have been at next gen. You never know.
He probably was.
Like he hit Nick out. So
he's like, hey, I think I might want some more kids. Can you help me out?
What's up? I'm the anti-Ravi.
Yeah. How do I get fewer than 0 kids?
No, so it's a weird, especially when you get into the numbers. Like they are not Minnesota-esque in a lot of areas.
Yeah, the obvious one is,
and there are a lot of people that follow that team that told me all summer, I don't even know why you're acting like this. They're not good. And I said, it's pretty easy. They won with 64 guys coming to Lincoln.
Yeah.
I am traumatized.
Yeah. Yep. I think a lot of people are.
It's pretty easy.
Rightfully so.
They won 5 in a row. Like, what do you want me to do?
They literally brought
oh man, Minnesota, whoo, cake.
They brought a 3rd-string mash unit to Lincoln and beat Nebraska. Like that's what happened. Like that's a real thing. They didn't have most of their starters or 2nd string.
Ask Richard if he's already clean shaven. He said he would. I can barely read that, but I'm guessing I'm making out that he said
he says, Ravi, I will also shave my head if Rule leaves. I'm with you.
Dixie says shave the beard.
Stank says babyface Ravi could be traumatizing to a large crowd. Yeah, no, it's not even like a vanity thing. My wife would be mad if I shaved the beard.
Would she?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what you would look like.
I have a picture I can show you.
Would you keep the goatee?
No, I mean, if I shave the beard, I would shave the beard, but I'm not shaving the beard.
So you wouldn't keep the goatee?
I mean, if we're talking about like for a bet and I put it on the line.
I'm talking about like just clean your cheeks up.
No. I don't look good with a goatee. I did that in high school.
I remember, oh yeah, apparently Richard might already be cleanly shaven.
I did look good with the chin strap though, like that pencil line, like KG.
That's the. I try not to tell other grown men.
Like KG.
Although I remember one time Lawrence shaved his mustache, and I was like, "Ooh, don't do that again. Don't ever do that again." And that's when Clinton went on me about DGB stands for don't go bald because my head is so misshapen. So we just roasted each other for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
it was very intense. But yeah, you have to be careful about going with the clean face. But if you lost the cheeks, that would be fine, don't you think?
No, I don't like. Listen, it's been a very long.
I didn't even have a full a great beard, and I was scared to shave it a couple months ago.
Yeah,
because it was 2 years. It was the longest I'd ever had it.
Yeah,
but I looked like I was 60. It's gray. It's like that summer beard. Some of the hairs are over here, some are over there. I was like, even my barber couldn't save it, and he tried every week. And I was an anti-color guy.
Yeah,
right. He's got all sorts of tricks, and I was like, no, I will not be Ryan Day in this thing. Oh, allegedly.
I think he just uses shoe polish.
No, that can't. Do you know how messy that would be?
I'm kidding, but it's jet black. Like that is horrible looking.
Wasn't that the group chat where I screenshot the picture? Or no, I might have sent it to Severe.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a presser, and I had a good angle.
Yeah,
and it was clearly natural.
Oh, because on the sides it was graying a little bit?
Yeah. No, it wasn't graying. It wasn't in.
Oh.
He's missing some stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, the beard's natural. I don't think the color is.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Shane, did you like my music this morning?
I didn't hear it. What was it?
I don't know. That's not important. Just asking the question. We're not going through the whole.
Lots of new breed again?
Strange.
That's a great question.
Thank you. Strangely enough, there was no new breed.
Oh, okay. I was curious.
No nude breed this.
No nude breeds either.
New breed. So I never got to the end of the song.
Yeah.
I just I've only ever heard the first 3 minutes. It's even worse than you think. They actually kind of rap, and it is.
Oh no.
It is.
It's tough out here.
It's very Little Bo Peepish.
Should we look more at
the
songs again?
No. This morning was I played a little LMA.
It's Welcome to My House, right?
I played Rod Wave. I played.
Yeah, apparently a new Rod Wave song came out.
Did
you listen to the new one?
I'm all in on Rod Wave.
Okay. That somebody in the chat yesterday was like, "Hey, DB, you heard the new Rod Wave song?"
Yeah, I like Rod Wave. So the players got me on that.
Oh, did they?
They always want a playlist on Thursdays. But the last time we played music, we played like trash. So there has been no music at practice.
Yeah.
And every day they whisper in my ear, "Can we have music today?" And I'm like, I have to wait for Coach Lamanji to give me the go-ahead. I'm like, why are we whispering? Ask him Friday when he thinks he's going to bring music back to practice.
Hey, Coach, when are you going to let DB play some music at practice again?
It's not a DB thing.
But you're in charge of the music.
I'm the instrument that the players use
as
the conduit, because I think they think of he and our relationship.
So when we were talking to Avery, she's the vessel of curiosity. You're just the vessel of music.
Yeah, I actually like that term. When was that?
A couple weeks ago, I
think. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
The vessel of curiosity.
Yeah.
I was like, that should be on a t-shirt. Nobody would get it. But
that'd be like a deep cut, that'd be for P1s only to get that vessel of curiosity.
Well, you are rewarded for listening every day.
Absolutely.
It's a joy.
So here,
what's up, Wyatt? What is that avatar?
Can I say something a little embarrassing here?
Is it about Miriam?
It's about me. So
he said, damn, text to speech. Oh, Fu Manchu.
So I had a Fu Manchu in high school.
Rod Wave is for dudes with girl. Kobe is an absolute menace.
So is
but I'm not gonna fake. I did turn him. So that's funny. He said that.
Yeah.
Because when the players wanted the Rod Wave playlist, I was out. Because I asked Caleb, and he's like, I don't know if you want that at practice.
Yeah.
I asked Micah off to the side. I'm like, we rocking with Rod Wave? Like, why do the guys want the Rod Wave playlist? This was months ago.
Yeah.
And Caleb kind of gave it this head shake. He gave this. I can't remember the emoji. Apple has different emojis than Android. So I played a couple of things, and I'm like, why are we playing Baby making music at practice? Like, that's what I thought to myself. And then Kobe, of all people, Kobe hits me. I listen, I don't know enough, Kobe, to refute, but I kind of think you might be right.
So does that make
that is ridiculous for no other reason than it's Kobe, and he seems like such a stick in the mud sometimes. That is hilarious.
So when you first said Rod Wave, and I had no context for who this.
And I will say a lot of his stuff does sound the same.
So I had no context for who this person was. I was assuming he was one of your like 90s R&B guys.
Mm-mm.
And I just looked him up, and he's 27.
Listen, I'm way late.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, he's mostly contemporary. He's now.
I'm 2 years late.
That's fine.
I just started listening like a couple months ago.
I had never heard of him until you mentioned him.
I knew what he was on,
like 3
but
days
I
ago.
wasn't.
I'd never heard of him.
Yeah,
until you said him.
One of the songs I like is called 25, and he's kind of whining.
Yeah.
But it's cool lyrics. He's just talking about maximizing.
Yeah.
At this time in his life, even though he's only 25. Like, I'm like, or he's 27 now, but
he was 25. Yeah.
I'm like, you haven't even been through anything yet. Like,
I was at 25. I was cool still.
I don't know. He's pretty papered up, so he may have been through more than we think.
Yeah.
He may have been one of those childhood stars that I don't judge.
Kobe says he's 27. Kobe is also 27, and he's known about Rod Wave for quite a while.
Yeah, so I get it. Listen, Kobe, I'm late to the game.
He says all Rod Wave songs are sappy love songs.
This dude. You think Kobe and I should go break bread? I don't know where I'd be driving. I assume it's some route in 308. That's fine.
I have no idea. You let me know how that goes.
Aw, you don't want to go?
Nah, we're cool.
Probably go grab Chinese or something.
I like Chinese food.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's where I get all my wings.
I know. You're a big Asian wings fan.
Is it Asian?
Yeah. Well, do you like Korean barbecue wings too?
Yes.
Yeah, so I included them. So I just China, Korea, just Asia. I don't know any other.
I didn't know there was a new BBQ that opened up off Pacific. By Good Evans.
Yeah,
it's by Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I had to pick up lunch from there.
The Korean barbecue place.
And it's like, I'm like, oh, there's a wing place here? Because there's one on 132nd and Center, too.
Oh, I thought that's the one you were talking about.
No, this is by Good Evans on 70.
Oh, down on 70. Okay.
74th and Pacific.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
He said, I love Chinese. All right, KB, we're in.
Dude, I love Chinese food. Chinese food's great.
Yeah, I'm super particular. I know you're surprised at that.
Oh, no, I am too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different varieties, and a lot of them are not for me.
Kung Pao chicken and shrimp, sliced chicken, extra chicken, $3, extra shrimp, extra spicy, fried rice, no vegetables.
Oh, I get all of my entrees, no vegetables.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I like sliced chicken. I don't want the fried breading.
So I usually want the fried bread.
And she's like, that'd be $3. I'd be like,
she's like, what? How much extra is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be $3.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
No, it's fine.
Did you know that all food will be ready in 15 minutes too?
Oh, that's incredible.
Doesn't matter if it's $80 worth of food or $8.
Good for them, man. Staying on it.
Let me say this correctly.
That'll be $3.
That'll be 15 minutes.
You sound like a train conductor.
Yeah, whatever.
It'll be 15 minutes.
Just like to move on.
15 minutes till boarding.
Past that rendition.
No, I got my West Omaha Chinese recommendations from you, so I knew that.
Yeah.
Because my place is in Bellevue, and I can't drive there all the time.
Yeah. So there's a place in Bellevue. This was a couple years ago that Jay swore by. And we went there, but I think I got something different that night because it was after a game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple years ago. So I bet it's probably the same place. Yeah. Then I have 3 that I kind of put on rotation.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Golden Palace, Buddha Belly, or I like Hunan Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I get kind of the same 3 or 4 things.
Yeah. So the one that I did feel like you led me astray on one.
Which one?
The one on Maple?
It's Golden Palace.
But you said specifically you're like, that's a wings one.
Yeah, that's where I get. They have. I think their wings are. Although Buddha Belly's going to give them a run for their money. Buddha Belly has a little more breading.
Yeah.
Golden Palace's flavor on their wings is sensational.
Yeah,
but I do not get my Kung Pao chicken extra spicy, extra shrimp, sliced white meat, no veggies, fried rice from Golden Palace. I would get that from someplace else.
Yeah, I really don't do wings at Chinese places. I just never have. It's just like if I go to China, if I want Chinese food, I want like Chinese food.
Well, why do they call it? Why is it on the menu if it's not Chinese? There's lots of chickens in the country.
I don't know. Like crab rangoons aren't really Chinese either.
How do you know?
Because I've known Chinese people.
You don't know them all.
Every single one. I spent a lot of time cold calling.
Guess what? I know a handful of Ethiopians, and not all of them eat goat either. So, like,
no, but all of them would tell you, "Hey, yeah, goat is a traditional Ethiopian food."
So nobody in China is gonna tell me about Rangoon.
I mean,
how do you know?
Because I've asked, like, I've had conversations with people who are Chinese or like that run these restaurants. And they're like, yeah, these things are kind of American. These are like actual more traditional Chinese
I get
dishes.
authentic. I mean, it's not like they're eating soft taco supremes in Mexico.
Are you sure? They're more of a gordita crunch type people.
Dude, have you ever seen the lack of cheese used in authentic Mexican?
Oh, authentic Mexican food's terrible.
So, like, the answer to your question is yes.
Well, okay, but
I can't believe like you're just representing everybody from the Pacific Rim talking about they don't mess with Rangoon.
I got bad news for you. Fortune cookies, also not Chinese.
See? 1.
It's fine.
10.
No, within the context of the conversation about whether chicken wings were Chinese or not, it felt like it.
I'm still tripping off Kobe and Rod Wave. That might be the funniest thing I heard all morning. I'm glad I came inside.
Yeah, me too.
What time? This is like 6:59, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Shane said 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I was like, huh?
You walked up and you're like, 30 seconds. I was like, oh, okay.
It's fine.
You know what? It actually got a little secret time before we take our first break here.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't mad.
Searles was trying to talk me into eating bear the other day.
Like,
I can't remember. Jess will know.
Like grizzly or black or polar?
Listen,
or
I was so I was kind of low key mad at him.
Really?
Like, I didn't let on, but he's like, "Oh, come on, DB," and he's telling me about it, and I said, "Who cleans it?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I do." Like, he goes, "Searles processing plant was open all day yesterday," and I was like, I just think of
I would say the first thing I think of, and I know other animals have hair. I'm like, how do you get all the fur off of there?
Yeah, like I had to walk off. But he said, I can't remember whose guts he said he left around camp. He goes, "Oh yeah, we killed such and such, and we left some guts because we knew that bears were snooping around." And I'm like, "You?"
Oh, so he's like a full on crazy.
He buys, like he knows all the permit. Like dude shoots a lot of things that move. Yeah. I was like, wow, the more you know. I'm like, who intentionally does that?
Jason says bear is good. Jack says bear meat's a little greasy.
Jack, what haven't you eaten?
I was gonna say, I'm not surprised with like that voice. If you had to make me guess of any of the people we've ever talked to whose voice would have eaten bear, Jack is very high on the list. Like that just sounds like a guy that's like, I've eaten bear, I've eaten moose, I've eaten whatever.
Wait,
like
I don't think you eat. Do you eat moose?
I didn't think you ate bear until 4 minutes ago.
No, I knew you ate bear.
I did not. This is news to me.
Yeah. Because I think is elk and moose, they have to be similar. And everybody's dude, I
think all the antlered animals.
There's
are
a place that I stopped
neighborhood
before I go to the airport in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Their elk jerky for one strip is like $9. I'm like, this better be sensational.
Yeah, I don't think I've had elk. I've had bison.
I've had elk.
Yeah. How's elk?
Elk is fine.
Yeah.
Elk is. I have a bison. What did Jerningen give me? He hunts too.
Like a bison burger?
No, it's pretty. It looks like a nicely trimmed roast. I can't remember what it is. I vacuum sealed it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google, or should I say TikTok, how to fix that thing. It looks sensational.
So, Jason, is this like a Navy thing where you've eaten all this weird stuff? He says he's eaten whale and seal also. What's happening, Jason?
I'm not eating. Like, see, I want to like Jason. We're just not doing that. Like, I'm not eating anything that I like. Like as an animal.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not eating whale.
Yeah.
That should be illegal. I thought you couldn't hunt. Like, isn't that illegal?
I don't know. I feel like it would be really fatty. Isn't there just like a ton of blubber on whales? That's how they like stay warm.
I've been close lately. I just know like
how
orcas and sharks like to eat off them, the carcass.
Tim
and seals. I know they look cute, but they're notoriously violent. So you can eat all the seal you want. I got no problems with seal.
You don't like seals? Are seals not cool?
No.
I only ever see the videos of them getting like batted around by killer whales.
No, they're kind of vicious.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because
especially like leopard seals.
Yeah,
they will do you in.
I feel bad for them when I see them getting yeeted out of the ocean by a whale tail.
They're fast and quick, swim better.
So are the freaking whales, man.
So listen. You don't cry over great whites. Orcas eat them too.
They do, yeah. So I assume you haven't had shark.
Never.
Okay.
No.
That's probably the most.
It's very similar to Wyatt's wife not eating chickens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I would hug a shark. I'm not eating a shark.
Is
it National Hug a Shark Day?
I don't know that that's one, but it might be.
They have national days for everything.
Yeah.
I don't imagine you could really pull off that day though.
Yeah, people would get eaten because people are dumb.
That's a fallacy.
No, like if a bunch of like dummies would go and try and hug sharks, somebody like it would go badly for someone. Absolutely. Because I would imagine most people don't have the respect for sharks that you do, so they're going about it all wrong.
No, you just need my telepathic powers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. Sharks would know. It's like kids. Kids know that I'm I rock with kids.
Yeah.
So they just it'd be the same as like sharks and dogs. They're the same.
Oh,
thing.
so that's how I feel about dogs. I feel like dogs just know that like.
Guarantee you, I'll hop in the water.
Yeah.
As long as it's the right time of day.
Yeah. You don't want to be feeding time.
And I hopped in with a great white just trolling the boat. I would get in and we would like just chop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, what up, bud?
I'm telling you. I'm not going to dap him up. I'm just going to rub the dorsal and get him to roll over on his belly and then put him in a little trance.
Little sharky sleep.
You think I'm playing?
No, listen.
I would try to pull it off.
I mean, listen, I would
do that before I'd zip line, 100%.
If I genuinely believe I have that with dogs, then I can't really be that judgy about other people thinking they have that with other animals.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to get those things in captivity. They just don't last.
Sharks?
They die.
It's not good for them.
No.
They got to roam.
No, it's been impossible to do. People have tried.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's not great for them.
I'll stick with the Frenchies for now.
Since
I wasn't manly enough to
be
able to dictate getting a German Shepherd in my own house.
Go get a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Good dogs.
It's probably not happening.
Good dogs.
Although I did see one in the car. I stopped at the gas station, the Phillips 66 in Nebraska City. Mm-hmm. This little girl, I wanted to take a picture so bad. She was little. She waved. She put her little prints on the window. And after I got over being traumatized by that, I looked to her left, and there's a German Shepherd in the back seat with her.
Nice.
And then I realized Mom was like looking at me, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not being weird. I'm just admiring your dog." She took a slow sip of her drink. She's looking at me like, what's this dude looking at?
Keep on stepping.
Stop looking in the back seat of my car. It's like, hey, dog greater than girl, but it's fine.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
The dog look pretty.
Where I realize I'm like staring. It looks like I'm staring at people, and I'm just like looking at the dog, seeing if it'll pay attention to me.
Like that's one of those dogs that you knew the way that he was sitting next to the little shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go near the little girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Good German Shepherd.
That's my dream dog.
Go get one. You ain't got to keep dreaming.
No.
You need me to talk Zoe into it?
Zoe would rock with me. Dang. I'd say that right now.
Just do a house vote. See, get Mike on board, get Zoe on board.
Micah wouldn't vote. Micah would sit there and let me struggle. He would abstain. I asked him yesterday, we were warming up. I said, why don't you ever talk? I'm like, sometimes I think Grandma worries about you. And he goes, I just don't have a lot to say. I was like, is that what you want me to relay to Grandma? He's like, no, don't do that. Well, but that's his natural inclination.
Yeah. He's been playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
He's gonna be all right. As long as
I saw him do our seatbelt thing.
So tomorrow, real talk.
Yeah.
Or Friday, ask Coach Lamanji
how he felt about the seatbelt deal.
Listen. You see I'm looking at you?
Yeah.
You almost had a blackout moment. I'm going to say this. Coach, we're lifting because kids didn't have school Monday.
Yeah.
So we lifted at 2. Mike had to be there at like 1:45 or whatever. And the guys are in lifting. So there's only a handful of coaches that don't have real jobs that go to lifting. No, I'm just playing. And so he makes a beeline over for me, and he goes, Mike could tell you what I did about this hole. And he did the gesture. I go, no. I said, funny, he didn't. What, like, walk me through it. And his description was hilarious because, he's super intense.
Yeah.
Said he had a blackout moment. And I didn't have the heart to ask Micah about it but this whole time, Coach Lamanji was today years old until he realized it was an actual seatbelt gesture.
Okay.
He had no idea.
Did he just didn't know what it was?
I can't remember. Did he say he thought it was a sword?
That's what I thought.
He said he thought it was
a
sword.
That's what I thought.
And I go, oh, no. I said, that's a seatbelt. And he said, yeah, still. Like, I'm telling you, he's like, his delivery is just funny, too, because he's super intense. He's like, and he couldn't even spit it out. I was like, ooh, I'd love to have seen that.
I
didn't ask Breeze about it.
I'm having a hard time just imagining him doing the gesture. That's the funniest part of the story to me is that he actually did the thing to show you.
And he overdid it. Like, he made it he was like, and he made like, and he just, I wanted to laugh, but he was so pissed I was afraid. I was like, I don't really want to argue.
I thought it was a sword until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, it's
so safe to say I don't think we'll be seeing Breeze do that.
They're like locking him up, It's
Yeah, he'll be passing on that.
Much like the NDOT Highway Safety Office, got to make it click. That's all Breeze was doing. He's like, hey guys, on the way home, make sure you wear their seatbelts.
Yeah.
Make sure it clicks. It prevents.
If I was Breeze, he's a quick thinker too. I'd have told him. I'd have been like, Coach, man, hey, listen, I just passed my driver's test.
NDOT, baby.
I just was, I'm just in the habit of putting on my
seatbelt, man. I thought it was a sword too, but then I think maybe it was Austin and I had this conversation.
You see 2 weeks ago somebody got called for it?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. The gesture was too close to holstering.
Yeah.
It was college.
I mean, that doesn't look like a holster. It does look like sheathing a sword, I thought.
What are you, Maximus Decimus Meridius?
Yeah. Sheath your swords.
That was Quintus.
Yeah, it was.
Quintus, free my men. I don't even want to go into character. See, I almost did just like that.
There was a dream that was Rome.
Yeah. I was so mad at her. I was like, she does not get her flowers. She's part of she tried to salvage it, but one good man believed it once. Who will help me carry him? I was like,
yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. I was like, beat it.
Hey, this is not about you.
You couldn't stand up to your crazy, weird brother. We wouldn't be in this predicament.
Actually, she probably just would have been dead. We're being honest here.
Somebody would have taken care of Lucius.
Still be in that predicament.
I mean, didn't they know that 2 was coming out? Lucius was just fine.
He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. Coming up on the show today, we got Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, coming up at 8. Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln at 8:30. We got Jessica Coody at 9 from Husker Radio Network. And then
speaking of buckle up,
Ryan Burns at 9:40. He covers Minnesota for 24/7 Sports. That's the lineup for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, she's been playing really well in practice, and I think once our roles started settling in and she figured out what her role could be, I think that's when she really started to excel in practice. And then it's like opportunities are going to find her, and I kept telling her that's for sure. If she's practicing great, it's going to be easy to put her in. And for long stretches of times, for short stretches of time. And I just thought her swing was more powerful, and she just had this way about her on the court. I think that just elevated our play. She was talking the whole time, and I don't know, I just really appreciate that what she was able to do. And again, it gives us more confidence to do that in the future. And sometimes with those opposites, which I know is hard as a player, it might not be because somebody's playing poorly. It's like maybe we just need to switch things up, and that's a good position to do it because they're both so talented and they both can get kills and they both are physical. So there's not there's a big difference between them, and one's right-handed and one's left-handed, which could throw off the opponent.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Everything's about getting the players' bodies right. So the good thing is our opponent's coming off a short week as well. So it's not like they have an advantage on us over that. And, it's such a state of mind, having, again, coached in the NFL for 10 years. You got those Thursday games. That's a 3-day break. At least these guys, it's an extra really day and a half. And really, when you look at it with us, it's about a 12-hour difference from an 11 o'clock start on Saturday. So it's really not that big of a deal as far as how we're approaching our week. But it really comes back to getting the bodies right earlier on the week and making sure while they're getting their bodies and their minds right, we're still like practicing like we did today. We went out there and we were physical in pads and doing what we do, working on tackling, getting off blocks, being physical in our rush plan, and then putting another good day tomorrow with our, kind of locking up first and second down and then getting into some third down stuff. But I think the approach is the approach, and the game's coming on Friday. We always used to tell those guys, like the game, they're going to play the game on Thursday, so you got to go out there and play well, especially with how we're playing. So,
welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you that if you're like DB and you want kids to know that you're for them, that's a compliment.
Oh, okay.
There's an easy way to do that. You don't have to go coach and figure out how to run a defense. You can just go to bbbsmidlands.org and sign up to be a mentor today. That's only 4 hours a month, which is dramatically less time than DB spends because it's probably like 4 hours an afternoon. But just 4 hours a month to make
you want to watch Huddle?
To make a big difference. It could just be watching Huddle, shooting hoops, or just hanging out at the library. It just takes a little bit of time to make a big difference in kids' lives. Go to bbbsmidlands.org to learn more and to sign up to be a mentor today.
Speaking of which, my mentor said, "Hey, Aquaman, when we going to talk sports?"
And you're a
you
big,
have to know his personality. That's pretty funny.
You are a big Aquaman guy.
That's what made it funny. He's just snarky because it's kind of this person's demeanor. But I love Aquaman.
Oh, so it's funny when he does it. It's not when I do it.
Well, I actually trust that he cares about me.
Listen, I that's offensive.
He's closet funny too. I used to tell him that, and he'd be like,
"Oh no, he's real funny."
I'd think, "Oh, did I tell you that?" Yeah, and he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I couldn't tell if it was his poker face or he really couldn't tell that he was funny.
No, he knows. He's super dry. You can see it in his eyes, and he'll kind of like crack a wry smile every once in a while. Yeah. Like he knows he's funny.
Dude, have you seen him lately?
I saw him briefly. I didn't get to talk to him. I saw him briefly,
ridiculously fit
on a sideline a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Yeah,
Aquaman is one of the goats.
I like him a lot. I got to spend a little bit more time with him the last couple of years, just on sidelines and stuff. And
yeah,
so we'll talk for a little bit.
The Rain Man. You think I'm bad?
He's always got
the Rain Man.
He's always got like a entourage with him though.
He's popular
at the games. Like he's always got a circle.
He's popular.
Around.
It's the same four guys too.
Always.
Yeah.
That's and those guys are cool too. But
yeah.
I've talked to all of them quite a bit over the last few years. But he's got his little group there.
Did you think, as we're looking at the Notre Dame Messi, the Bush push, did you ever think this was going to be a thing again?
Oh,
because you couldn't do it in college.
Yeah, that was
after that.
Well, no, that was a big controversy. It was illegal at the time.
Yeah.
And so people were like, "Well, USC cheated. They should have lost."
They played horrible that game.
Yeah. He threw a couple picks, didn't he? Liner?
Yeah, I was watching it at my buddy Ravi's house. Or Ravi.
Oh, so you were not watching it at my house?
You're going to be so mad.
Isn't another Indian guy?
I'm horrible.
What's his actual name?
Nitty Gambier.
It's not even close.
R.I.P. Nitty. Damn it.
Can't believe you had other Indian friends before me.
Yeah, that's been it. I just keep a small circle.
Well, Tim. Does Tim count now?
Yeah, Tim's my guy.
Yeah, so now we got two.
Tim actually kind of low-key looks out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, Tim's a good dude. I liked him.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. He's got some depth.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like those and he's a football guy.
Yeah.
So sometimes we lack a little personality. No offense to
football guys.
Football guys. Yeah, I struggle with analytics. Again, just looking at Minnesota statistically, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, looking at Minnesota statistically, I'm like, yeah, Nebraska's going to win this game.
I mean, but that's why, again, all you need, and I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here just for a second. I understand full well that the 5 losses in a row isn't Nebraska's burden to bear, but there's a reason I don't take anything for granted. I told you when Minnesota came in here with 64 guys and they played only 30 of them and they won. So, and not only did they win, they annihilated.
Yeah,
Nebraska.
they physically dominated.
So,
yeah,
I take zero things for. We got our teeth kicked in by Central. You think I don't take anything for granted?
I totally understand that. I also look at it and I go, yeah, that wasn't a Minnesota problem. That was a Nebraska problem.
I know one of the things I'm asking Burns right away at 9:40 is, who do they want Drake Lindsay to be? What now?
Asian Joe says DB out here building the United Nation of friends.
I do. I got T-Mac and Michigan Lance and coaches and Asian Wyatt. What? Stop. No, because you can't do it because I know it's bad because you took it to you.
The first couple people you mentioned look a lot like you. That's not really diversifying the circle.
No, I just was including everyone.
Oh, okay. You just started in your backyard.
Wow. I can't win for losing.
I was just checking. Like you were like, yeah, United Nations friends. It's like, DB, you're black too, right?
Wait, what? What?
Now, if I started with like you, then I'd be like, oh, look at Ravi diversifying his friend group.
But if you started with Tim, it would be different.
Exactly.
Understood.
Which I think is, I'll be honest, I think Tim's the only Indian friend I have. It's a very different circle. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, I don't have a lot in common with a lot of Indian people. Culturally speaking.
Oh.
I was raised pretty white.
Oh. Again, at least half the time I get it. Oh, wow. Phantom Husker does not see color exactly.
Eric says DB has his Justice League just like Aquaman.
So is this Aquaman thing going to grow legs?
Which one am I?
I think Matty DeMarinis is in on Aquaman.
Oh, yeah. He loves DC.
Yeah, I think that may originally be where we started bonding. And this was years ago.
Yeah. Because everybody else was kind of hating on him. And you're like, I actually like him. And
yeah,
DeMarinis was riding with you.
Yeah.
Austin asked, I don't know if he's asking you or me if he's in our top 5 white friends.
He's foolish.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Most of my friends are white, so that's a tough list to crack.
What a tough crowd.
It just is. I mean, I went to Miller North, so all my high school friends are white.
So you apparently haven't walked the hallways now.
Except for Jermaine and Cliff. Shout out, boys.
This whole time I never knew Cliff was black.
Oh yeah, Cliff's black.
What does that mean?
He was one of 2, so it was pretty obvious. Like in the halls,
you said it like there was like some characteristics.
No,
he's black. Like
no, he's just like I didn't realize I'd never communicated that part to you. Is it because I told you we played tennis together? You're like,
yes.
He's not a brother.
Yes. You didn't tell me he was Shelton.
Looks more like Tiafo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tennis thing threw me.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's there's not a lot of, although what's funny, this doesn't matter. It is whatever. So I was asking my tennis coach because there's a ton of Indian kids that play tennis.
Yeah.
Like a ton of them.
Can I just tell you, when we left the restaurant in Bethesda, I told you the restaurant was at a retirement home.
Yeah.
These young dudes, they
look like me.
Crushing pickleball under the lights.
Yeah.
I mean, the facility was immaculate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they are way good.
Yeah. So it's weird because I was like, there's a bajillion Indian kids playing tennis wherever you go, whether it's Omaha, wherever. There's a million of them.
Yeah. Why aren't they on the tour?
Well, no, I was like, but you don't even see them like play that much in high school. Like it drops off pretty precipitously, although it's gotten a little bit more. And he's like, typically, because most of his, tennis for kids can be expensive. He's like, most of their parents are very highly educated, well off, like high career type people, like doctors and things like that. No stereotypes, but a lot of them are. And
none taken.
And he goes, a lot of the times by the time they get to high school, they're like, hey, that was good for your like activities as a kid. Now like dial in on the academics part.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, like tennis is pretty cool too, man. Like,
speaking of guys who crush it, we've got our guest here.
He probably couldn't name
Mr. Minnesota. He's like, is this a sports show?
I'm guessing Brian Christopherson cannot name all the black people at the North High School he went to. I can.
That'd be quite a few. He was part of that magnet program. You were magnetized by those Vikings.
That's right.
Yeah.
The way I can with all like 3 that went to my high school. What's up, BC?
How you guys doing?
BC, man, how's your black friend circle? Pretty.
It's solid, yeah.
Attaboy.
He's got a 2 deep.
Yeah, that's about right. It's like, about a 2 deep.
He's like, I don't know why you always come talk to me. Well, BC, because I like talking to you.
My friend circle's of only about a 2 deep, so I'll take friends of all types.
BC, when you leaving for Minnesota? That's you know that place like the back of your hand.
I know it all right. We're leaving Friday morning, and then I think we're coming back early, maybe if I can talk the boys into it to get into town for that exhibition hoops game, but against BYU. So, quick turnaround.
You see a top 5 pro prospect in the gym. You won't see that often.
AJ DeBonsa coming to town.
Yeah, I wish it were a little later for my own sake. It's going to be an early wake up call if we do that. So I don't know for sure, but that's a fun exhibition to have. Sure beats what usually happens this time of year.
You think Coach Rule's talking to anybody at BYU about their NIL collective?
I don't know.
Gotta find
Yeah.
some Mormon money, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's true.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
No, I meant it exactly what I meant. Those Mormons are papered up out in Utah.
I just meant with the holy cow thing.
Oh, well, that's not Mormon. I don't know if you know that.
BC, somehow Ravi and I make it. It's tough, but I have not killed him yet, so we're okay.
Yeah, you guys got a good connection. I always think you guys can talk about like how you cook your seafood or whatever, and then you can verge into coaching speculation talk, and then talk about
right?
Yeah, you're pretty versatile, I'd say.
Oh shoot, BC, when do you look up? Well, let's rewind to Maryland. What was the first narrative box? Since Nebraska continues to check them off, what's the first narrative box that made your headlines that Nebraska checked off in College Park?
Yeah, you don't want to be there because it's stressful where you have to have the drive where you're behind. But we talk about it all off season, and we say it casually, like in the spring or summer, like, oh, there's going to be that moment where they're down 3 or 4 points, 4 minutes left, and can they produce? And you guys know the charts that are fairly out there from the last 10 years or whatever, and it's a long list of really bad drives where Nebraska turns the ball over half the time. Not attached to these guys on this roster at all, but you guys know how it works here. You kind of bear a little of that on your back until you get past it. And so the fact that they had that possession where Dylan was able to shake off some troubling throws earlier in the game and make 3 or 4 of the best plays he did all day. And then, Dane Key kind of showing why he came to Nebraska and why Nebraska wanted him here on that last catch. I thought that was it. Just that game-winning drive that kicks off a box that goes back like 10, 15 years. I guess Tanner Lee had one against Purdue in 2017 when it felt like Mike Riley was already a lame duck. So this one had a lot more meaning.
So, BC, more important to you, was it the defensive drive we saw against Cincinnati where it kind of bucked the narrative of, hey, Nebraska will be in it, they'll have the lead, they'll be ready to go, and they'll defense have been great all game, and then they let that last drive come through, which we've seen quite a bit over the last few years, or the one we saw against Maryland where, hey, Nebraska's got the ball with a chance to go win the game, and they go do it?
Probably the one against Maryland will be the thing that jumps out more to people because of what I just said, but make no mistake. I mean, the defense has to feel confident or get a boost from the fact that they've had 2 games now this season where they've stopped someone in the 2-minute drill to close the deal. And yes, the one at Cincy got a little dicey with them getting it to about the 35 or whatever, but they made the play, and it's the play that people have been asking for them to make in that situation. And so my point is that we can't talk about it when we're sitting back by the pool comfortably, like there's going to be these moments and then dismiss them when the moments actually arrive and you get yourself in those situations and guys deliver, even if there were some things that you want to improve on the road that got you there. So that's what it impresses me is this team am starting to buy into, does not panic at all or get caught up in what happened before them. And that's a big thing because that has been a problem with this program. And sometimes they've gotten lost, I think, to the narratives of seasons past, and that's attached to them. And I think this team's doing a nice job at trying to set their own story.
So, you know what's interesting? If speaking of like setting their own story and who are they, who in the world is this Minnesota team when you look at them that's kind of throwing the ball all around the yard? They haven't really established a ground game. Like, I did like Butler's comments. Well, I mean, I did too. Why wouldn't you try to run it at us? I would. Like, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they like their young quarterback, and also I think, frankly, their O-line has struggled a little bit. And I know you're talking to Ryan Burns later on your show. He's a great guy to have because he knows that team inside and out, can speak to them as well as anybody in that market. And so he can give the real details on where they're scuffling and all that. But I think up front, they maybe haven't been as solid as they have past years. But I like too what Butler said. Like, yeah, I know what they look like on paper. We respect the young quarterback and what he can do. But they're going to try to run it, we think. And, why would you not? I like that. Maybe he's trying to coax him into something a little bit there. I don't know if they play mind games like that in the press conferences, but that's the test that this defense has to continue to answer. They did it really well against Michigan State, where you felt like they took a step forward with the run defense and had a handle on it. And that allowed them to get after the quarterback the way they did and hit him as much as they did. And so that's the first thing this Friday is you got to take away that run, even if they're not doing it quite as much, and get that young guy in some 3rd and 7s. And as Butler said, you got to hit him. It can't just be the PFF pressures talk on the day after. It's got to be actual hits on the quarterback that gets in his mind, forces him to want to just get happy feet, throw that ball out early. That's what Aiden Chiles sort of did in that game. And you got to try to replicate that.
BC, as you're looking at Drake Lindsay and you go, okay, you've got a guy that is maybe pretty talented, can make some throws, has been a little up and down this year. But I think the big thing that is, I think the first power conference opponent that doesn't have what I would call a mobile quarterback and in any sense. How much does that change how you view this matchup versus just the overall kind of talent ability of Minnesota versus Nebraska?
Yeah, I think it's a definite plus for Nebraska. I mean, there's no question that the guys who could move a little bit more have been problems. That's the way it is for everybody, though. I mean, sometimes we act like that's just a Nebraska problem, trying to get a handle on a QB who can stretch his legs on a 3rd and 5. And I'm not saying Drake Lindsay couldn't do that too. So you got to always respect that. But that does take a dimension out of it that I think is very useful to a defense. And I think John Butler is going to explore like what's worked and what didn't last week, even though it's a different quarterback, about getting to the QB. Like he said, we came out, played more zone in that game and maybe played too much of it, honestly. And when he looked back at the tape. And so, he had that quote about you kind of had to have the screw it, mentality there. Let's get after him at the end. And, to Nebraska's credit, on the last series against Maryland, like those last 6 plays, there was like 4 plays where they got around him pretty well. And I do think forced him to be uncomfortable. And honestly, I know on the TV copy, Maryland had the guy wide open, but the reason he didn't see it is because a credit to the pressure was starting to get there on that last series. And I think it did get in his head a little bit. So hopefully they can sort of pick up where they left off, because they actually did play pretty good defense after the first drive of the second half. They really finished the game strong.
BC, what do you make of it? It's kind of interesting where you don't want to get in the habit of playing this way, and maybe the all white uniforms will be the next box they check off. But you go, it's well documented, right? You go -3 in turnovers, twice the penalties that you averaged, your 3rd down stop rate, which was one of the tops in the country. You allowed Maryland to go 7 of 15. They bucked a lot of trends and still got a W. How do you listen? You don't want to make a habit of that, but there is growth in there too, right? What's the balance for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably awesome for a coach when you can go back and be like, look at all the areas we didn't hit our goals for this game, but you guys still found a way to dig deep and get it done. But obviously the 3rd down, you want to see sharpen up. I think Maryland was 7 of 12 going into the 4th quarter. I get choked up emotional talking about it. It was so tough. But I like the fact that when everything was against them in that game, and it was that 3rd and 2 to start the 4th quarter, and it felt like Maryland was leaning on them. They bucked up and they came out of that huddle, and they really kind of put it on Maryland in the 4th quarter on defense when you look at what happened from that point forward. And that is growth, because there are so many moments where in the past that would have been a game where Maryland just keeps rolling downhill. They go up 2 touchdowns and it's sort of a lost cause. Instead, you get the 4-yard TFL, which, by the way, I think might be the play of this season for Nebraska. I just thought it kept that door open, like they can come back and win this thing. It was a nice, play by one of the guys you brought in to make plays like that. Now, the next step you want to see from this team, and I love your guys' radio broadcast, Damon, and it was that drive when it was 24-14, and Nebraska has with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. It's the step on the throat drive, and I feel like that's maybe just the missing ingredient where you want to see this team take a step if they get that opportunity Friday. If you're up 7 or 10 and you have that possession where you don't waste it, or give it right back, and suddenly you're in a 3-point game and it's going to go to the last 2 minutes. I understand there's going to be ebbs and flows, but you'd like to see a game or two going forward where Nebraska in that moment sort of plays like they did in the fourth quarter, and they bring it to the late second, early third quarter.
BC, as you're looking ahead to Minnesota this week, is there what? I think it was Butler talked about it. Well, they're on a short week too. It's not like they're coming off a bye or anything. I guess what level of concern does the short week hold for you?
I don't think it brings much. And I don't think all the whatever's out there speculative wise brings much concern. I think nobody's probably better at talking to his team than Matt Rule in an honest fashion about this is what it is. Let's go. I'm rocking with you guys. And I think in their heads, they've prepared for a while for this stretch in the season. I think it would be more difficult, honestly, if you had lost a heartbreaker on Saturday and you had to get back up Sunday morning and go do it. I know guys are resilient, but that would have seemed tough. So the fact that you sort of had that wind in your sails, you probably bounced in a little bit on Sunday feeling like, all right, that was a pretty nice win on the road, did some things we haven't always done in situations like that. So I just don't think it's going to be a big issue. I mean, it's a 7 p.m. kickoff. It's about a 12-hour difference from when you normally kick off. I know you don't get that extra night's sleep, but I think the coaches, you can tell they've put it ahead. Like, this isn't that much different than if we were kicking off early Saturday. Let's just go. Let's not have it be a part of the conversation.
When you're looking at where you think Minnesota is versus where Nebraska is in terms of like their psyche, does the way the game starts matter to you?
Yeah. I mean, I think Nebraska has a chance to against certain teams on the schedule, and Minnesota would be one of them, where I feel like the Huskers have a slight edge. Maybe deep down Minnesota knows that, where if Nebraska could put it in their head right away, it's going to be a tough night for you. We did come to play. We've got something going this year. And then build that opportunity I was talking about where you're up 7 or whatever in the second quarter, and you have that drive where you really get a chance to sort of stamp them out a little bit. And, I'm sure it'll be a lively enough crowd, but there'll be a good number of Nebraska fans there too. And it can be that moment where you could try to, like, early on, establish that you're going to take over the stadium a little bit too. Like, I think that's a big part of it. Like, you have the chance early in the game to not let the crowd be as much of a factor as certainly they were 2 years ago. I understand that was a different circumstance. It was the first game of the year. Maybe there was a little more juice, but I think there'll be juice there Friday night. And I think Nebraska will be better prepared for it. As Matt Rule has, documented, they probably were a little underprepared for what was going to await them in that one.
BC, I'm assuming you're expecting a big Nebraska contingent up there on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like a heavy travel game. It's a easy trip to the mall, all that stuff. So I don't know, 15, 20,000. That wouldn't surprise me. I was a little bit actually surprised, and I know this fan base. I grew up here, by how well represented they were at Maryland. So
I was too. I thought that I did not expect that at all.
That didn't seem like a game to me where it would be like, because it's harder to get to. You thought maybe a few thousand and there it goes, but no, they had an impact, and that's a big deal on the road. There's something that's hard to explain to people if they've never gone on a Husker road trip. Like the fan base is like so in it with the team. Like they almost feel like they're the left guard in the game. Like I have a say in this matter when you've spent your money to go watch them, and there is a very real connection. And I think that was a big part of the fourth quarter Saturday. And so that's why I say, to Damon's question, that's the part where I think it's big to jump out early, is because you get that crowd sort of like feeling like, let's make this a home game sort of thing.
I wonder if it'll be that kind of environment, because I always thought, like, quietly, if you talk about fan bases and teams that don't like Nebraska, I feel Minnesota is grossly underappreciated in that respect. I don't think they like Nebraska at all, which
they don't. You know what it goes back to?
Knock them for, but we act as though, like, I mean, you have to match their energy, which is, it's one of disdain.
Yeah, I agree with you, Damon. That goes back to 84-13. There's people of a certain age there that 1983, when Nebraska laid it on them, 84-13. And by the way, Nebraska did not run up the score in that game. If you go back and watch it, Minnesota was just horrible. But like there's writers up there that are older and stuff that like they still remember that game and have like a certain venom about Nebraska for like just running up and down the field and sort of how that happened. So that's real. I think that's carried over to their younger generations for somehow, some way. And also I think there's a feeling, I think Burns would probably tell you this, up there, they kind of always look at Nebraska as getting the benefit of the doubt in the offseason from people more than they think Nebraska should. And in some years that has been true. And so I think that all kind of combines to what you're saying.
BC, it does. So I was not expecting you to bust out the 84-13 because I hadn't even thought about that. But I've always sort of assumed, and this is how I feel at least. I find myself, even though I know they've been better than Nebraska, even though I know that they've beaten Nebraska for 5 straight years, I find myself always being incredibly dismissive and disrespectful of Minnesota. Just no matter, like, there's almost nothing they can do where I'll be like, oh, that's a good football team. Like, I can get there with Iowa. I can get there with Illinois. We got there with Wisconsin. I've gotten there with almost everybody else. But I almost put Minnesota in, like, Purdue category in terms of mentally being able to flip the switch of, like, no, this is a good football team. Yeah. And I always assumed that was I just felt like Minnesota maybe could pick up on that.
That's probably part of it. I mean, that does happen everywhere with, like, if a place is thought of as more of a blue blood football program, I think it's always harder for that fan base, even if they've struggled for a while, to accept certain teams are actually like in that category or even above them sometimes. And that does get under the other side's skin. I mean, we could say the same thing about Nebraska basketball. They've went to Indiana. They've kind of owned Indiana in recent years, and Indiana, after a hoops loss to Nebraska, will always act like, they lost to a high school JV team or something. That's just like sort of the mentality that's baked in. So yeah, I think you guys are on the nail, though, that there is a little bit of animosity that you wouldn't necessarily expect on the surface between the two sides. But, Nebraska's got to go there. This is another chance to check a box. A team that's beat you 5 times in a row. Again, that's not on you, but that stuff adds up, and it's a graphic on a TV screen every year. Put an end to it, and I also, like, there's no program that has taken a trampoline off of Nebraska's back more than Minnesota and PJ Fleck. Like, I mean, you talk about, like, look at some of their wins when they've come from Minnesota on their schedule. In certain seasons, they've been in a precarious spot, like where their season could go either way. And it's lifted them to be that 7-8 kind of win team. And it ends up being a successful year for them. Nebraska obviously needs to win for itself, but it needs to start taking some of these games and these regional matchups to not elevate, teams that are a couple states over or your border rival in Iowa. They just have, and they got to put an end to it.
Yeah, I go back to there's plenty, right, between the fan bases and the no sloganeering, and PJ Fleck said he knew what Nebraska was going to do, and it was very easy because. I mean, you
talent
remember
versus culture? That was the thing, right?
Yeah. Do you remember when PJ Fleck, after they beat Nebraska, he said, just predictable, like we knew what they were going to do and how they were going to line up. And the talent versus culture, they're not a big sloganeering group. Like there's a ton in there. And I just think, like whenever Minnesota sees Nebraska coming, I get the sense that Minnesota thinks, get right game. Like,
yeah, they do.
I just think that's how they think.
And Nebraska's let them have the opportunity.
Minnesota was the place with the sweaters, and they were too cold, and people didn't like how they wore
the hoodies.
Like there's
the hoodie game. Yeah,
there's a ton of these narratives that I think have fueled.
Yeah, the nonsensical stuff.
That had fueled the disdain.
Oh yeah, and people who act like, oh, Nebraska's better than that. I'm, you know what? I've been up in that press box too many times and seen some ugly Nebraska performances, and every year's different. But sometimes you just get that vibes of a place where it hasn't been comfortable here before, and you got to have that team that breaks through and changes that thought process. The good thing is some of these guys weren't even involved in if they were only one game, the one 2 years ago. But I can think of like the game where Bill Moose yelled, "Oh no!" like in the press box, and it was in a cartoon, and stuff. The 54-21 game, that was one of the worst Husker games I ever saw. 34-7. There were some doozies up there, and so
we got served the mystery meat and mashed potatoes in the summer for that.
Yeah, they do it. They do have the bust out the dilly bars, which is nice. They got a nice connection with Dairy Queen or something going, so that's good. But I have a little bit of the heebie-jeebies when I'm up in that box because it's been some tough experiences. So that's it. I gotta shake from my mental mind up there from what I've seen from Nebraska football, including Jacques Quezient slipping on the 1 yard line. I mean, there's all sorts of things you could go through.
Well, I went to the wrong stadium, so I'm traumatized. I'm just saying. They're both banks.
Can you take me to the stadium named after a bank? Sure. BC, so how do you think this one goes?
I think Nebraska, I like this team's like mindset that they are like in the present and not lost in the sauce with stuff I talk about, like what happened with Jacques Quezient, that none of those kids care about that. And I do think there has been a comfort that's starting to build in the fourth quarter. Like we made a play this week we're going to make another play next week that sort of builds. And the problem in past seasons is Nebraska hasn't had that happen early where you can kind of stack on top of it. And they have this year. So that's a really golden thing to value, that you actually do have those experiences in your back pocket. You've been there, and now, take advantage when they come up again and expected to get it done. Well, maybe it's the other side now that's sort of expecting the other shoe to drop. And that's the way you have to look at it. So I think Nebraska will win, and I think the spread 8-9 is about right.
So, Coach Butler last week talked about packing your defense to go on the road. And he also alluded to, why not run it at us? What do you think their mindset is coming into this one? You don't want them chasing ghosts, but they do appear to be cognizant. And it's kind of like this, BC. When Maryland came out and got in like 3 tights, now they didn't stay with it as long as I thought they should have, but it's little things like that I think help prepare Nebraska for the next week, right? Like any opponent's capable of doing something they haven't done because they watch tape too.
Yeah, I'm always really encouraged when a team is having what seems like it could be a bad day at the office with maybe Maryland has thrown something at you didn't expect, and it's 24. You've already given up 24 points like early third quarter, and it's seeming like one of those days, and you're able to change up on the sideline, and there's an understanding between what the coaches want out of you. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more of this, maybe drop this, and then you go out and you actually execute it on the fly. That's always impressive to me. And that, I think that was one of the biggest takeaways from that game, is that that's really what they did on defense. And I didn't initially realize how well they played on defense the last quarter and a half until the next morning, honestly, because you get caught up in all these other things. And then you sort of revisit some of the series they had. Nebraska adjusted pretty well, and they met the moment on that side of the ball after a tough start. So you don't want the beginning to be like it was, but there are going to be games where that happens. And can you be a team that actually on the fly finds an answer and then actually executes that answer you think will work? And I thought they did that.
That's our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 BC. Appreciate the conversation as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. Let's take a quick break here and then get to our guy, Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Is there a point in your mind where you know, hey, this will be the time to hang it up, or how are you going to make that decision?
No, I mean, I think those are hard to make. I think you reach a point in your life when maybe you lose a little bit of motivation and a little bit of energy, and you don't feel like you're giving those people that are looking to you everything that you have. And once I get to that point, then it's time to walk away and do something else. And I haven't reached that point yet, but 50 years old is way in the rearview mirror, and there's some other things I'd like to do in my life.
Yeah, no, we're happy to have you here still at Creighton. When you think about Alan Huss and the guy that he is, what makes him the perfect fit to take over this job?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. Number one, he's an outstanding basketball coach, and he's proven that on really every level as a prep school coach, an assistant coach, and a head coach at High Point. But secondly, I think it's his care and love for this place, this university, this community. It shaped him to who he is today, and I think those values that he learned when he was here are going to make him a great leader for this program.
All right, who is your favorite Husker volleyball player of all time?
I like Sarah Pavin.
Nice, okay.
I like Jordan Larson.
The Governor, one of my favorites, absolutely.
I think Lauren Stivrins is mine.
Lauren Stivrins, okay, a little bit more recent, great player, yeah.
That's who I was gonna say.
You stole it. Any others?
I mean Jordan Larson.
Jordan, the Governor. Who doesn't love the Governor? She's the GOAT. Oh, she is really the GOAT.
I like Nick Hames.
Nice, that's a really good one. Nick Hames, a lot of fire on that one.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, how are we doing this morning?
Good morning. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Minnesota week, baby.
Hanging in there. I want to start with kind of what you saw in College Park with what Nebraska was able to accomplish with that football team where they're at this year. Do you think they took more positives to focus on that are portable for this week, or worked on what they overcame in terms of kind of like the proverbial backhanded compliment to dial in on what they needed to do this week?
Well, I think my answer to that changes, DB, after hearing from John Butler yesterday. That conversation was pretty honest, and, the defense was inconsistent in College Park, but I think we all learned what was frustrating for the coaching staff, the fact that the pass rush wasn't good enough. And I don't know how well you need to rush the passer against Minnesota, but I think that would be the answer to the question I would have for you, is that I think that the intangible goods that Nebraska showed, like winning a game late, offense making some strides, being able to perform in the clutch, that is now outweighed more for me about, like, listen, the coaches learned some things about this team. Specifically, it's got to get better at rushing the passer.
Kevin, as you sit there, is that the biggest area of improvement you'd like to see from Nebraska on Friday, is just the pass rush?
Yeah, but I don't know that you're going to be able to gauge that against Minnesota, because this is a team that, they're not going to throw the ball 50 times in a game. So you can, in a lot of the things that Minnesota does offensively, from what I can tell, a lot of the passes are set up by play action. Like they'll try to run the ball and then move the quarterback. So, just pinning your ears back and trying to get to a dude that's on a 5-step, 7-step drop, I don't know that you're really going to be able to have a good sense of, did Nebraska make the strides they wanted from, the pass rush in this contest. I think you'll learn more about it, later in October and then into November. I think that's the bigger concern. It's not about applying it this week. It's about, can we continuously put pressure on the quarterback down the line, especially a lot of the guys playing up front defensively, they're young and they need to be making strides game by game.
So, Kevin, when you're looking at, and some has been made, you talked about Coach Butler's honesty and kind of being candid yesterday. Were you surprised, or maybe not, that he made, not light, but was very dismissive of the short week? He walked through the schedule, talked about roughly the 12-hour time difference. How quickly do you think we'll recalibrate what he just said when we're watching what could potentially unfold on Friday?
Well, Coach Butler went straight to, he's got NFL experience. So, giving him one less day, that is nothing. Because in the NFL, you're playing on Sunday, and sometimes you have to turn around and play on Thursday. So you want to talk about a condensed schedule, for him, it's probably like, yeah, this is no big deal. We lose one day, and we can slide things around and still be okay. And not to mention, the short week, going to Minnesota. It's not like they're flying to Washington or Oregon or Rutgers or College Park. Granted, they came back from that, but this week, the departure, you're not going, it's one of the shortest trips in the conference. So there is I align with John Butler on this, that, the shorter week, it's not as glaring and impactful for Nebraska just because of, it's just one day and you're not going really, really far for the game on Friday.
Kevin, what's your, are you headed up on Friday?
I'm staying back. We're going to send Chase Madison to Minnesota. I've got some obligations on Saturday that I've got to be in town for. So, yeah, and plus it's Friday night football, you only get so many of these. And we've got one of the biggest games high school-wise in our area entire season. It's been tracking toward Waverly versus Norris. Both teams have been so good in Class B. And it's kind of unfortunate that this game that everyone's been talking about across the area falls on the day that Nebraska plays on a Friday night. So we got to make sure we love up on that game, because those two teams in Class B, Class A, we're not going to talk about right now. Class B is it's a wide open game. Yeah. I don't know who's going to win.
Especially after what happened with Elkhorn North and Scott.
I think that there are 5 legitimate state championship caliber teams, and 2 of them are right outside of Lincoln in Norris and Waverly. They're both beating the brakes off of every opponent that they come across on the schedule, and now they meet on this Friday night, and it's going to be a dogfight. And the teams are a little bit different too, guys. Waverly, Reed Manstead, he likes to just do the Reed Manstead thing. He's going to run it at you. That team is as physical as they come. And Norris has some athletes. They're going to spread it out. They're going to operate in space. So contrasting styles. And, I'm going to let everybody that wants to watch Nebraska, Minnesota really enjoy Nebraska, Minnesota. I think I'm really looking forward to high school football Friday night because it's under the lights. It's late in the season.
Kevin, you're not alone. There's a couple of equipment managers that have some particular affiliations to Norris. And we spent a lot of College Park talking about this week's matchup with Norris and Waverly. So you're definitely not alone in terms of ranking its level of importance. It was a good 30 to 35-minute conversation this past weekend. So it's important to a lot of people.
And frankly, I can't remember a game like in the 10-11, in the Lincoln larger area, a game of this magnitude late in the year, because I'll be really honest with you, having a Lincoln versus Lincoln matchup, it doesn't carry the postseason implications and the juice and the excitement that this game has. In fact, I can't think of something that's comparable over the last 5 years. Because here you have the highest rated teams in Class B, both undefeated, both with huge average margin of wins. So this is a huge game. And from our station's perspective, we got to treat it as such. In fact, I feel a little bit guilty that we haven't been able to bang the hype machine throughout the week that we would like to because of some of the other things that are dominating the conversation in the area.
So let me ask, if it's Waverly, Norris, I'm assuming Scott, Elkhorn North, is it Bennington? Is that number 5? You said 5 teams could win
That would be
Class
it.
B?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good group there.
Yeah, it is.
And, like, almost all of them are in the same district.
Yeah.
They are. And what's going to really affect this Class B situation, what does the bracket look like?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Waverly always gets stuck on the same side of the bracket as Omaha Scott. And, you know, like the wild card points, they're pretty tight across those 5 teams. And I know some of those coaches are looking at that and saying, you know what, of course we want to win, but as long as we get on the other side and we don't have to meet Team X in the semifinals, let's get to the finals and let's play them there. So it's a really fascinating discussion. And, you know, people can poo-poo all over Class A football all they want and what's transpired this year. Just shift your attention. Class B is awesome. It's wide open. And the postseason is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in that.
Absolutely.
That is our guy, Kevin Sjuts, 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks for indulging in the Class B football conversation.
You got
Hey,
it.
we love Class B football.
We do, actually.
I know. No, it's incredible.
Jay Terry, like they got a lot of Norris affiliations and their kids play, and we talked about it a couple days in a row.
That's when
even during the field, like I just got done talking to Jessica Saturday before the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I went back and we talked about it some more out on the field. Like it's a big one.
That's where I went after your game became not fun to watch anymore. I went over to Scott Elkhorn North at halftime.
That was a shocker.
Yeah.
The way in which, that was.
Which one, yours or theirs?
Theirs.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
I just wasn't sure which one you were referring to.
I told you I liked our game plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we just have. I mean, again, I'll say it again. I told you when I walked off the stage off air. These next 2 weeks will let you know exactly
like where you guys are at,
where we are. And
I liked
the.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said we'll figure it out.
I really liked the, and I hadn't seen you guys as much this year, just a couple times. I really liked the Quentin Warren Wildcat look.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. He's low key. He's one of my favorite players on our team. I love that dude.
You'd love his. You guys are a lot alike.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He seems like he just like stays on it.
He's super mean spirited. He talks to me sometimes like we're peers.
Yeah.
Like I have to remind him.
Like, hey, you're a child.
But
still.
but he has an old man soul.
Yeah.
He loves to compete. And listen, if we're gonna see some Wildcat, we might as well figure out how we can utilize it too.
He not a guy that likes to be tackled, seems like.
He's violent.
He's big. He's just big.
I don't love him because he's mean, but I love the fact he is mean.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, there's certain positions on a football field.
He's ornery.
You want a guy to
on
be
it, coaching, like he's good. He talked me off the ledge Friday morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the goods.
This is no disrespect to anybody else that was on your defense last year, but if you had told me, hey, there's a 4-star on this defense and not told me who it was, just on tape alone, and I don't know measurables or anything, I would have guessed it was Quentin.
Yeah.
He makes a ton of plays.
He plays hard.
He just does a great job. I've always been impressed by him.
Got a really good test, man. Prep is deep.
Yeah. Prep looks good.
They're deep on that interior.
When we were talking to Coach Yonk on Friday, Austin and I, I don't know. I don't have the hatred for Prep that a lot of people do.
Mm.
I kind of like, it felt weird that they weren't relevant for a long time, you know? And I'm like, I don't know that I like this. Like when I see Prep on the schedule, I want it to be a big game.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm glad.
I think this is the biggest one between the two schools, and I don't know, since 18 maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So we'll see where we're at.
I mean, you go way back. You know, Millard North and Prep would trade back titles every couple years, and
you're doing too much.
All of us were all the Kiewit kids were mad at Zach Potter for going to Prep instead of Millard North, and it's a big thing.
Was that a thing?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he was.
Come on, Zach.
He was a Kiewit Colt.
That's kind of like all the Miller North kids were mad at Forsyth for going from not going to Miller North from Buffett, going to Burke.
So there was a bunch of so at Kiewit it was not as bad because most of those kids went to Miller North. At Miller North Middle, a bunch of those kids ended up going to Millard West when I was in school. So there was a bunch of animosity towards some of the Millard West kids, and
keep the animosity smoking.
Yeah, it's just listen,
team animosity. It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't care if anybody likes anybody. I don't.
Everybody love everybody.
I can only control me, and I like a lot of different people, even though they're opponents. So whatever everybody wants to do with channeling negativity, do you.
Yeah, you like a lot of different people. That's why you got your United Nation of Friends going on up there.
Yes, I do. and we now have 2 Asians in the stream too.
I know, and they both self-identify. It's like on a job application where it's like, hey, these are optional questions, and they're like Asian. They check the box.
I'm not doing this other stuff. You got time for other? I'll let you know. It's fine.
No, we appreciate it.
Oh man.
Terrence said he knows 3 of the black kids I went to school with, and I was like, I don't know 3.
Well, you
what?
The delivery kind of bugs me. Like you kind of talk as though it's like a demonstrative, like
what
them
do you mean?
or the like. I don't even know 3.
I don't know 3 black kids that went to Miller North. The time
I don't even know 3. Like it just sounds like it's dismissive that they're actual people. It's a thing. It's like not a thing.
Me and Jermaine are tight. That's my boy. We were here on Saturday watching the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were here.
What are his hours? Is he 4 on 3 off? What are his hours?
I think so. I think he's 4 on 3 off.
Because there's not very many of them.
I'll be honest. Now who's using demonstratives?
Numbers.
Oh, okay.
Numbers.
Oh, you mean like
they are short staffed.
Yeah. No, I'll be honest, I never have his schedule figured out. I always just have to ask him, be like, hey, are you free this day?
Yeah.
I have no idea what his hours are.
Did you guys enjoy a nice spritzer?
No, what was he drinking?
Did you get the baked potato pizza?
No, I had wings.
Well, I hate how you no. Like, do you listen to yourself sometimes?
I feel like it's been clear at this point. I'm probably not going to order it.
What?
Wow. 1, 10. Before, no. See, 2 weeks ago, it's, hey, I may get that. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
Now it's, hey, I think it's pretty clear at this point. I'm not going to order it. Like, clear to who?
Clear to me.
See how you do?
Yep.
It's fine.
So,
are you rocking with me, though, with the Minnesota-Nebraska vitriol?
I do. Yeah, I do think there's for not having like a clear reason. Like, I don't think there's a clear reason. There's a clear reason for Iowa. There's
what
a clear reason
year
for
was that where
Wisconsin.
Flex said he knew exactly what Nebraska was going to do?
I don't remember.
And it drew the ire of
the one that
I think, and it was in Minnesota.
The one that's always stuck out to me was the talent versus culture comments.
Yeah,
because that was after.
And I don't want to attribute the sloganeering thing. Maybe he was or wasn't talking about Fleck, but I knew that was. I mean, we turned that into a thing too.
I mean, he's the only one rowing the boat in the Big Ten, so.
What do you say? I'm not a big sloganeering guy. It's like, oh boy,
wasn't a big lot of things guy.
Okay, that's.
I'm just saying. I think sloganeering was probably the least of his concerns.
Right.
It's like, hey, I don't do slogans. That means I'm dialed. Well,
go Steelers tomorrow in Cincy.
You big Steelers guy?
Do you know that's the Thursday night game? There's some dog poo-poo games.
Yeah. Well, you're not excited to see Joe Flacco?
No. I was trying to explain to Breeze how he could like change jobs in 4 days and play quarterback.
Yeah.
I was talking about base terminology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had some questions.
About Flacco?
No, you got my brain going a little bit here. So you're talking about base terminology and stuff because I was asking you some football questions yesterday.
Yeah.
And so there was we were talking about the hi-hat thing with the offensive tackles that
you went down the rabbit hole. I'm walking in from practice. I look at my phone and you're like, hey, I was watching.
It was Purdue, Minnesota. That's why I was watching it, because I was rewatching Minnesota's last game.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching Purdue, Minnesota, and shout out BTN and 60. Love you guys making my life easier. But I'm watching that one, and on the first play of the game, I think, first offensive play of the game for Purdue, the first like 2 or 3 of them are Mockabee handoffs, right? And immediately I noticed, because we had just talked about it yesterday morning, was the offensive tackle looked like he was taking at least 1, maybe 2 steps back and then engaging in the run block. And I was like, okay, if I'm an edge defender, frankly, I'd be mad just because I'd be like, okay, how am I supposed to read that? Right? Because we talked about it with McCullough on the touchdown run for Maryland. He probably saw high hat. He thought he was going to be a pass pro.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell you, the vertical seams that Purdue had for a while were enormous.
I like how you're the practical application now.
And I was just like, what the hell?
It's hard.
And so I think what I noticed was the hole first, and then I saw the tackle. And so I watched the next like 4 or 5 plays that they ran. And every time they ran, so it was toward the right tackle side. Every time they ran to that side, it was, I think we decided a sprint draw play where
I didn't know based on what you're telling me. I said I would imagine because this is over text, so I can't see what you see. But I said I bet it's some sort of lead or sprint draw, and you confirmed you thought it was sprint draw.
Yeah, because I went and Googled YouTubed a bunch of sprint draw plays, and I was like, yes, it looks like that. So
that's just me having
for knowing like what I was describing, those was probably that.
I just know what gives us fits.
Yeah,
like no game plan. Like there's just certain things we have to be really good at
because if you teach it a certain way, there's things that can be exploited that way, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you teach,
they know what we know.
Yeah. So if they teach hi-hat, or if you teach hi-hat, they know, hey, if I do sprint draw, so it looks like hi-hat.
Like you think teams don't know that teams read guards?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they false pull.
Yeah.
So like the games within the games are always where it's at.
So like if you're
but do you know why I was very reluctant to like hammer Shavers and everybody else fitting without verifying what McCullough saw?
Yeah.
Because if he came to me and he said, that's Burke Brown the same thing. By the way, he won the Hammer Award.
Oh yeah?
That he balled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, what'd you see? That's what I like. You've heard me on the sidelines. Like, I'm not going to be like.
Yeah, you don't hammer guys usually.
Because if I know what you saw, then it helps me be able
you correct it.
to do the next thing,
Yeah.
right? So
because if
McCullough came to me and he said I saw a high hat, then the next teachable thing was, okay, if you're gonna when you rush the passer, you can't get so much width anyway, because you're not gonna want to with Washington,
right? Because he's mobile, so you don't want him to be able to cut up that seam.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that would be the next you can't get it all, or I would say, hey, look through the Q, right?
So that's basically you're looking past your tackle
to near back.
Okay, to whoever's closest to you.
Yeah. So if you get a team that, Chase Daniel, I think Lance sent it to me. Arizona Washington ran a screen and go, in which the tackle came all the way. He basically did what Pritchett did on Justin Evans and Pritchett did on Isaiah Hunter's quick screen.
Yeah.
And Chase Daniel was like, "Oh, I've never seen a tackle do that. Great play call." Flat front pants, no pleats. Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh,
he's like, hey.
Sorry, I was thinking Washington Huskies.
He's like, shout out, Cliff Kingsbury, and I'm like, Chase, that's what everybody does now because it's hard. That's why defensive coaches, whine about whether it's ineligible men downfield or how difficult the screen and RPO game is because everything looks the same.
So
it just does.
Can I ask a question about that? Because technically, right, if you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, there is no illegal man downfield.
Correct.
So is there a fix to that to make it easier on defenses, or do they just not care? Because
I don't know. I mean, it's techie, but you could play like match quarters. Like there's lots of things.
Yeah. But I mean from like an officiating standpoint.
No.
Because you would have to change your rule.
Every coach does their lobbying before they meet with officials. Hey, coach, any concerns? I want to check knee pads. Well, at college, they don't check anything. I mean, them guys are
knee pads are like mid-thigh.
Pads. Which, hey, man, if they want to do it, knock yourself out. But it's coming from the guy that was suspended for not wearing tail pads and knee pads. So, I have any room to talk.
You got a little trauma there.
I earned it.
Okay.
I earned the benchings, but everybody does their lobbying and their politicking. If you're a big art, I can imagine what the conversation every time you play Illinois, and they run that gap scheme too, so it's measurable. I'm like, I can tell what those conversations would be about Bielema's teams, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
hey, watch them, make sure they're not getting past the line of scrimmage.
Some teams get ineligible men downfield called more than others.
Well, it's when your timing's off, right? Because somebody ends up past the line of scrimmage when they shouldn't.
Yeah, not to be a degenerate, but you saw it in the Florida International game like 4 times.
Sure.
Last night because of the screen game.
Yeah.
But it's very hard if you read in men on the line of scrimmage or you read guards or whatever. I just.
How much of that's on the back or receiver to know where they're at on the field?
As the recipient?
Yeah.
Not much.
Okay.
You're expecting those guys to be what's drawn up on the board.
Okay.
Right? Hey, tackle's going to get out. He's going to sprint. He's got corner. I mean, it's hard for those big guys to block little guys in space.
So guys aren't like leaking past the line of scrimmage on accident.
So that's why the big guys want to get as close to the little guys as possible.
Yeah.
So you
can't get around them.
Yeah.
You don't get in their body.
And a lot of times where you see big plays is when defensive guys take the path of least resistance, you're usually opening up some fit.
Yeah.
So like if I'm a contained guy,
that's what you're talking when you're saying taking on the block, right?
Yeah.
Is not taking the path.
Keep your butt outside. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you meet too many wanderers on that path, right? Yeah. Like if everybody took that,
because if you're trying to go around, then there's the hole.
Yeah. Right. So it takes. I'm always very not reluctant, but I'm cognizant to know scheme before I assess blame. Or he took a bad angle, or he was too slow, or he was this, because the whole goal is trying to shorten guys' runs.
Yeah.
Right. So I just need to know what everybody's doing.
So here's the Nebraska part of this equation. If I see that and it works for Purdue, how easy or hard is that to implement if that's not something you do typically? Like the fall.
Oh, the week of. So that's game planning, right?
Okay.
I'm sure we'll see some wrinkles from Minnesota.
So like a sprint draw type thing.
Yeah, it's like edge run game.
To try and exploit Minnesota's inability or their reads there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would expect to see some sort of edge run game that isn't QB driven from Minnesota.
Coming up next, we'll talk to Jessica Coody from Husker Radio Network. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
What?
Yeah, she's been playing really well in practice, and I think once our roles started settling in and she figured out what her role could be, I think that's when she really started to excel in practice. And then it's like opportunities are going to find her, and I kept telling her that's for sure. If she's practicing great, it's going to be easy to put her in, and for long stretches of times, for short stretches of time, and I just thought her swing was more powerful, and she just had this way about her on the court. I think that just elevated our play. She was talking the whole time, and I just really appreciate that what she was able to do. And again, it gives us more confidence to do that in the future. And sometimes with those opposites, which I know is hard as a player, it might not be because somebody's playing poorly. It's like maybe we just need to switch things up, and that's a good position to do it because they're both so talented and they both can get kills and they both are physical. So there's not there's a big difference between them, and one's right-handed and one's left-handed, which could throw off the opponent.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, the number one thing is everything's about getting the players' bodies right. So the good thing is our opponent's coming off a short week as well. So it's not like they have an advantage on us over that. And it's such a state of mind. Having again coached in the NFL for 10 years, you got those Thursday games. That's a 3-day break. At least these guys, it's an extra really day and a half. And really, when you look at it with us, it's about a 12-hour difference from an 11 o'clock start on Saturday. So it's really not that big of a deal as far as how we're approaching our week. But it really comes back to getting the bodies right earlier on the week and making sure while they're getting their bodies and their minds right, we're still like practicing like we did today. We went out there and we were physical in pads and doing what we do, working on tackling, getting off blocks, being physical in our rush plan, and then putting another good day tomorrow with our, kind of locking up first and second down and then getting into some third down stuff. But I think the approach is the approach, and the game's coming on Friday. We always used to tell those guys, like the game, they're going to play the game on Thursday, so you better go out there and play well, especially with how we're playing. So.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, it's a long football game. It's 60 minutes of war and fighting. And, you can't win it in the first, second, third. Even though we'd like to have a better third quarter, just looking at things, you win the game in the fourth quarter, all that stuff doesn't matter. It does when you come back and look at it. But ultimately, you're trying to get wins. And just glad we got to grit out and get these victories.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget to come join us for the big game breakfast on October 31st. DB and I will be here. It's a live show, and we are going to have a great time. It's the only live show of the year, and there'll be an all-you-can-eat buffet as well. Make sure you come hang out with us. Jess, you going to come hang out with us at our big breakfast?
Wait, what day? What day?
It's Halloween. It's right before the USC game.
Okay, thanks.
Friday night?
No, Friday morning.
During the show. We're going to do the
Oh,
show.
boy.
We're going to invite people. You don't have to be there at 7. It's a 3-hour show, Jess.
Oh, I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Wait, is Friday still technically your day off? That's the excuse.
Not that Friday, because that Friday is the Hall of Fame, the Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame banquet and ceremony deal. So there's kind of a lot going around with that and all of that. So, but that's okay. I'll think about it.
You know what was funny is you asked, it was either after the show or maybe when we were sitting on the plane, you go, is that going to be a drop now? And Shane.
No, I said it on the show last week.
Yeah. Shane, it is a drop, isn't it?
What? I think I said that to you multiple times on Saturday. By the way, I did want to make sure and wish everybody a happy 2-year anniversary of DB going to the wrong stadium.
Wow. It's fine. So that was your cousin, right? That picked me up in her Jeep on the drive-by. Is she coming up to the game?
No, she's a traveling nurse, and so she did her stint there, and she went to Nashville. Now she's back in Oklahoma City.
Hey, so before we get into Maryland football and Minnesota, I was telling these guys, which do you think was worse, the bus ride or navigating the remote control and the TV in the studio in the press box?
Well, the bus ride was worse, but the trip to the airport was not as bad as the trip to the hotel when we got. I think he got some practice in between the two. It still wasn't like the best bus driving I've ever been a part of, but it was not as bad. But I feel like you have a selective memory on some things. So the TV situation went like this because you weren't a part of it. You left to go find a breakfast sandwich or something. I don't know. And I know, Lord help us, DB left the stadium by himself. But so he's gone for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And in that time span, Kyle is trying to get the TV on. And he couldn't find, it was like 90s static on the TV. So we got to call the IT guy to come in. There's 2 remotes. They're not working.
Oh, is that what the guy with the glasses kept coming in for?
Yeah, well, one of them. And so he gets the TV on the in-game video feed so that, you could look up and watch the replays. So that's what Kyle wanted it on. So then DB comes back in the meantime. I think those 11 a.m. games had started, and he's like, hey, can you get a game on? And so I tried to change it. And then it's like an old school type of remote, but it was on 6.3 or 3.2 was the channel that Kyle wanted it on, but you couldn't get there by a dot. Like they didn't have a dot on the remote. So we couldn't, there was 2 times where we had a hard time getting it back to anything other than static. So by this point, Kyle's like, just leave it on this channel. Just leave it on here. Don't change it. We can
and then I went to go wash my hands.
So then DB leaves, and Kyle's like, just leave it there. He's not even going to watch that TV. Just leave it on the video feed. So at this point, DB comes back in. Kyle leaves, and DB's like, Jess, put it on a game. So I've got both of them telling me while the other one's out of the room what to do. So I'm like bound and determined to figure out how to get this TV to work. So then by this point, I'm like, listen, all you do, you hit the number 3, then you go up twice so that everybody's happy. But it kind of, I told Kyle this on Monday. I'm like, you kind of put me in the middle. You guys both were like, Kyle was like, just leave it on this channel. DB's like, change it, Jess. And so I'm like a little bit stressed. I got it on 3.2 or whatever. Well, first of all, I got on Florida State game. Then I figured out how to get it back to the video feed. And I said, I'm out. I'm going down to the field. You guys can.
What were the instructions? Now I'm leaving. Just hit 3 and up twice. Like
yeah.
You were special.
I mean, judging by that story,
I didn't know. So part of that is a little new. I didn't know Kyle was that dead set on it.
Because it really was. You were gone when we had a lot of issues just trying to get it on something that wasn't static.
Yeah.
And it seems a lot simpler once we got it figured out, but we were having some, because there was 2 remotes. We couldn't figure out the remote, the work. And he likes to have the feed, the monitors that he can go back, watch the replay. And so I kind of got his point of view. Like it was a little stressful trying to get it back. But once I figured it out, I'm like, okay, I think we can compromise here. This is how you do it so that DB can watch a game and then you can get it back on your video feed.
So let me ask here. So I've got a couple questions and a couple comments. Number 1, how long before the game was this?
I mean, it was, and by the way, Ben's just sitting over there with his headset on, like ignoring all of this.
He wants nothing to do with you guys,
which is very un-Ben-like. He's usually in the fray.
So I need to, in order to make some judgments here about this story, how long are we talking before the game?
Well, it was kind of a longer drawn out thing because it was before the game day show started, which was at 11:30, but it was after it was. We have some segments that are pre-recorded, so people were going in and out during the show. And so the game had started, like the game that DB wanted on was the Florida State game, and that had started. So, I mean, it was after those first batch of games had started.
Okay, but we were still 3+ hours away from your game starting, correct?
Oh yeah, and the initial kind of trek to find the TV getting working was before those games even kicked off. So.
Okay. But we would have had plenty of time to get back to 3.2.
Well, I mean, I had to leave, so.
Oh, so between the 2 of them, maybe not.
Oh,
here's the other thing.
I'm not 10.
As this situation described, I knew exactly what was happening. So this was an over-the-air thing. They were getting their thing through the antenna. That's the only way you can get to a 3.2, and that's the only way you can get static. And without a 0.2 button, I was like, oh, well, in my head, as you're telling the story, I'm like, oh, you just go to 3 and you just go up till you find the 0.2. This is not rocket science. Like, I don't know what's happening here.
Well, and Jess took both remote controls, so I didn't even have.
You gave me both remote.
I didn't have a chance.
You handed them to me. Jess, put a game on. Jess, put a game on. Kyle's like, Jess, just leave it on this, and I'm like.
Also, in Kyle's defense, DB does want you to change channels to TVs he will never watch. That one right there, bud.
Oh, I just want the option.
You literally have never faced that TV in 2 years of doing a show together, and every day you're like, "Hey, why isn't that TV on?"
Jess, which took more time to order from the restaurant or to get the TVs right?
Probably get the TVs right. No, probably order.
Yeah. Did you tell for as important as crab cakes were, nobody ordered crab cakes?
I did get crab pizza though. It was solid.
No, it looked like I only ate the corner of all the 85 pieces you left, which was a travesty. But
it was huge and like super thick.
Was the restaurant pretty good for you?
Yeah, the butternut squash soup was bomb.
Oh Lord!
Oh, I'm not trying to do butternut squash or anything.
Hey, and I will tell you, the calamari was fantastic.
Oh, I do love calamari.
Yeah, it was sensational.
So nobody ended up getting crab cakes, Jess? Is that like that's?
No, because DB took us to like for lunch. It was some like sports bar type thing.
The little dive.
But it was good too. But yeah, nobody ended up getting crab cakes.
After all that.
The best we got was like crab stuffed stuff, or crab.
Yeah, that was Kyle. He made the best dinner choice.
So we still ate seafood at least. I feel like that counts. But no crab cakes.
I'll allow it. I guess.
All right. Did you believe Emmett when he was walking pregame and we wished him happy belated birthday, and he basically let us know he was going to do something special? Like, did you see that performance coming?
I mean, I don't know if I saw 176 and over 8 yards of carry, but I mean, he just has that confidence, and I think the way that and as much as we give a lot of credit to Emmett Johnson, you also have to give credit to the 3 interior offensive linemen. They're really good at run blocking and just opening up. Just give him a little bit of space, and he's so good at reading it now. And I asked him that after the game. So we talked to him right after, and then Dylan was doing TV, and so we came back. And then by the time, they had cleared off the field quickly. They had gone in the locker room, and then they came right back out. But Keith is like, wrap it up. So I only had like 2 questions with Emmett. So then I went back and talked to him like longer for the locker room show. And I asked him about that. And he just said, oh, I'm seeing it so much different now. Like I can see things happening in a way that like I haven't the 2 years before. So I think if once those 3 up front that are really, really good at that, give him just a little bit of space, he can see it and he can go. And then he is so tough and relentless, and he's not going to go down. He's not going to be an easy tackle. And so he's got so much confidence right now. And somebody commented on, I think it was on the interview, that the only person that never doubted Emmett was Emmett, and I mean, I go back to, I interviewed him in high school. He wasn't recruited, and he had a lot of belief in himself, even throughout the whole process of he wasn't playing, he had a redshirt, then he wasn't the starter. I mean, he still had a lot of belief in himself. As frustrated as he might've been, he knew what he could do. And I think he had the talent, and he had the ability, but then it was also then developed even then some with Coach Rule, Coach Holgerson, the staff, EJ, Barthel. And so what a great story. And yeah, no, I'm not surprised with anything Emmett does anymore, because he's at that level right now where when he believes he can do something, he's going to go do it.
Jess, as you kind of go into this Friday game, obviously EJ's big storyline going home. What else? I'm not going to ask you to give away your pick to click or anything, but like, who are some of the other guys that are?
Yeah, who did you? I know who. I remember.
Kind of catching your attention.
I took Luke Lindemeyer. So I think he's going to continue to be. I think now that we know what the offense looks like, the guys that are going to always be a part and be, and then even look. I think we've seen Luke kind of become Dylan's security blanket a little bit in some situations. I mean, some plays that had broken down, who was a couple times, it was Luke Lindemeyer that Dylan ends up finding. So I think he's going to continue to be that guy for this offense. And, especially if they try to go quick passing game, I think I can see Luke having a big day. I feel like all those wide receivers. I talked to Isaiah Hunter for the Cornhusker conversation.
Isn't he something?
Yeah, he's great, but he's another guy that's got a lot of confidence. He told me a funny story, by the way. I'm going completely off track, but apparently your boy Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith had a barbecue, and for the wide receivers, just the wide receiver group. And they called Dane and they said, hey, can you just like pick up some stuff from Hy-Vee? And Dane's like, well, what do you need? And he goes, well, we don't have anything. So Dane had to get the burgers, the hot dogs, the buns, everything. And he's like, how are you going to have a cookout and not have any of the stuff? So Dane gets it. Then he gets over there. Then he's like, okay, who's cooking? And they're like, I don't know who's cooking. So then Dane had to cook. Then Dane had to grill. So then they finish grilling and they have the stuff they're ready. And they're like, okay, where's your ketchup and mustard? They're like, oh, we don't have any of that.
So Quinn does not surprise me at all. He's eaten with us. You think I'm a child? Quinn he's got to be super spoiled because he can't do anything.
But apparently Dane's grill skills are pretty impressive.
It's hot dogs and burgers. You got to be Ravi to not be able to cook that.
Listen, I won't eat burgers at people's houses a lot of times because they mess them up, man. It's harder. A lot of people screw up burgers on the grill.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me ask, Jess, you said something really poignant for once. There's like 6 and some change to go. Nebraska hasn't even gone on that field goal drive yet. And you're like, DB, Butler has got these guys over here. What'd you say with like these situational defensive packages in case Nebraska has to get a stop late? Do you remember how much time was on the clock when you told me that?
It was during
it was more than 6 minutes, right?
Yeah, so I was standing, they were at least closer to at least I think they might have been in the red zone of the field goal drive because I was standing on that end.
Okay.
And so he and Terry Braden were acting like they were the offensive linemen, and Cam and Desan were like doing what John Butler wanted them to do. Like he was showing them what to do when they were going to draw it up. So yeah, it was.
He was already kind of envisioning a last second game.
So
saving drive.
They kicked the field goal at 7:47. So probably somewhere in like the 8 to 9 minute mark.
Yeah, because when you said that, I was like, can we just get a next stop? Like I remember, like in my head, as you're telling me what situationally they want to do, I was like, we just need to stop.
But if you don't get the stop on that next drive for Maryland, that's exactly the spot you're in, right?
Yeah, I mean, and good on them because that's exactly what had to happen late in the game, right?
I don't know if it ended up being because I mean, again, I don't, it's hard to tell exactly like what, but I don't know if it ended up being what they went to in the drive where, the one that went out of bounds, it was intentional grounding. I don't know if it ended up being that play, but if they ended up utilizing it on that drive, but yeah, they were scheming some stuff up. They were cooking it up on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. When you're listening to him yesterday, Coach Butler yesterday, and we get it, like he's pretty dialed. He says, I don't know. I expect them to run the ball. I mean, it's us. Why wouldn't you? Is it, for me, it's kind of cool how they've embraced that. They think that teams think that that's the sentiment, and they're trying to rise to the occasion, right?
Well, we said it. Yeah, we said it last week against Maryland. Maryland is not a team that ran the football, and yet they all week were talking about we have to stop the run. Like they knew that Maryland was going to try to get to that. And I think and it might have been a little bit more of an off day for the pass defense, but they've shown what they can do. And so I don't think teams are going to try to throw it as much against the secondary. And as much as the defensive line has been a work in progress, I mean, I think they know that that's what teams are going to try to do to also be able to control the tempo a little bit and probably try to keep Nebraska's offense off the field. I think there are multiple reasons why teams probably want to try to run the ball against Nebraska. But I think they know that at this point, with as good as they are on the back end, that teams are going to try to do it by running it down their throats. And so and they're not, they know that, and they're preparing for it. And it's a young group that I think they continue to get more and more comfortable and confident. And, they've, I think they're not taking offense to it by any means, or it's not like it's hurting their confidence. It's just like, hey, it is what it is. Our guys, they're excited and really want to brag on the guys that are playing behind them and the job that they've done up until this point. And so I think they know how good those defensive backs have been, that's where can we attack? And so I think they just see it as a challenge and want to continue to get better to be able to, hold up their end of the bargain.
Jess, you brought up a couple interesting points there that I hadn't heard very many people talk about, where, when we talk about teams wanting to run the ball against Nebraska, it's always about, hey, Nebraska's run defense is bad, their run defense is bad, their run defense is bad. But A, the pass defense is really, really good, so you want to do anything besides that, right?
Yeah.
And then B, I hadn't really thought about, hey, maybe like teams want to shorten games so that they don't have to deal. Like Nebraska's offense has been good.
That's a decent point.
Yeah, they have been. I mean, it used to be something that when I was at Oklahoma, teams did all the time because those offenses at Oklahoma were so explosive that they were trying to keep. They would try. When it wasn't like a complete shootout, it was, hey, I think Baylor, when Coach Rule was at Baylor tried to do it, I mean, so when you have those types of offenses that, have a very good chance of scoring every single time they get the ball. Well, what's sometimes your best defense is a offense that can slow it down and give them less possessions. So I kind of feel like teams might try to do that a little bit more, especially the teams that rely on like a Minnesota and Iowa, those types of teams. Like, okay, let's just shorten this game, not give that offense much of a chance, because even the times that they haven't scored in the red zone, they've moved it, or they've put themselves in a position to score. And it's only a matter of time before Nebraska starts getting that figured out. I mean, they have the personnel, they have the weapons, the offensive line is starting to gel. And so that's pretty scary, I think, for opposing defenses. And so I think it's twofold. I think we don't want to throw against Nebraska's defense, but we also, if we can find a way to prevent that offense from getting out there as much as possible, let's try that too.
You guys, both of you, I told Ravi when you kind of went down the laundry list this offseason of Coach Holgerson's offensive prowess, and then Ravi took a deep dive on points per game. So probably neither one of you are surprised, but if I told you that Nebraska's up almost 10 full points in conference play at 33 points per game on offense, you're probably like, yeah, and it should be more, or, wow, that's pretty good for conference play.
No, and I also think that Coach Holgerson, I mean, maybe if you look at it, you'd think, it should be more. But I think he's evolved to what is needed for the Big Ten and for this offense and this team specifically. I mean, people want to say, it's the air raid, he's going to fly it out. But it's not that. And I even talked to Coach Shorts about that, like the week that they got hired at the bowl preparations. He's like, it's not the air raid. It's taking advantage of what the defense gives you and utilizing your personnel. But I also think he just knows that it's a different kind of game than what the Big 12 was and some of the places that he's been where you had to just light up the scoreboard. But so I think he's evolved to where they might not score. What was the average that he's averaged? What were the points per game?
So it was different as a head coach versus an offensive coordinator. As an offensive coordinator, he was pretty much always over 40.
Yeah.
The head coach, he was much closer to like 34, 35.
Yeah. I mean, he knows that that's not the kind of game that wins in the Big Ten. And so he's changed that, but I'm not surprised at all that it's up. And I'm not surprised either that it's down from where it's been from previous places that he's been.
I think because I was trying to project what it looked like.
He'd never been lower than 51st.
Yes.
And total.
And I think that number was like 33 points per game that year.
Yeah.
But the thing I was trying to project.
And they're 15th in points per game right now.
Yeah, because they're over 40 still. I think
they're like 37.
Are they just under now?
Yeah.
So the thing I was trying to project was like, okay, if Nebraska can get to X number of points per game, and that puts them in the top 40 or 50 in the country, what does that translate to in terms of who those teams are and how much they win? And if they got to, I think, 29, almost everybody in that range won at least 8 games.
Yeah, that's what you did.
So I looked and I go, okay, if Nebraska's offense just goes from, like, let's be honest, pretty pretty pedestrian.
They needed 6 more points per
game.
game.
Yeah, basically they needed 6 to 7 more points a game to go from 6-6 to 8-4, 9-3. And we've gotten, 10 more per game?
Yeah.
And what's interesting too about that stat is that if you look at those teams that probably were at the top, they didn't win the national championship. Like the offenses that were that were number one in the country during that time, they weren't winning. I mean, because Oklahoma was one of those. They made it to the college football playoff, and then they couldn't play defense, so they couldn't get past that first round. And so I think there were a lot of teams like that during that stretch where, you're scoring 45, 50 points a game, but you can't get to the pinnacle because I just don't think you win games like that. And I think Coach Holgorsen, obviously, I think he recognizes that too here at Nebraska. Like some of the games that you want to win, you can't win it like that. And so that's where he's evolved too. And I think he's talked a lot about that too, just, understanding how to win in this conference. But I'd be interested to see if you went back, like during those stretches, those teams that were in the top 5, I don't know if any of them won the national title in terms of like offensive scoring.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think most, just off the top of my head, trying to remember here, I think most of the really, really good teams were between
ranked, you crack statistician, you
ranked like 10th and 30th. So they were good, but they weren't that.
You got to have a balance. It's got to be balanced,
Well, and the other thing is, you notice when you look at those lists a lot of them are non-Power 5 schools at the very top. You get a lot of kind of randos in there.
Like SMU.
Yeah, you just get some super random schools in there, or like Hawaii used to be in there all the time, or whoever, right? Or you end up with teams like the Kingsbury Texas Tech teams, where they're just constantly having to score 60 points to be in a game.
Yep.
So, Jess, because you're close to it all the time, how much do you think with Coach Eckler and special teams that the way he thinks and how positive he is affects everybody else? Or when you're down there, is it kind of just a special teams thing? Like, do you think his vibe trickles down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he celebrates everybody. When the defense gets a big stop, he's fired up. When the offense scores, he's fired up. But, I also like to, yes, he's very much, it's been really impressive just to hear the process of the special teams too. And just the all that goes into it and the amount of film, I said this last night on Sports Nightly, but we talk a lot about, the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator being able to watch film and recognize some areas that they can take advantage of on the opponent side of things. And Coach Eckler's now done that with special teams. It's not just been about, we're going to do what we do. No, we're going to find ways that we can take advantage of the opponent. And, we saw it with the punt block and touchdown, and then the kickoff return, those 2 weeks in a row that they saw something that they practiced, they spoke into existence, and then it ended up happening. And a lot of that is just the attention to the detail, the film study. And it's not just Coach Eckler and then coaching it. The same way that when I walk through that facility, a lot of times you'll see the different position coaches in their offices breaking down film with like the players in their rooms. It's the same thing with special teams. Like Coach Eckler watches film with guys and like breaks things down with them. And so I think, and then just on the sideline, he will talk with people when if something bad happened, he will come over and have a conversation. And then when something good happens, he will obviously celebrate. But those in between where it wasn't like anything spectacular happen or anything like awful happen, he kind of allows the guys to do their thing. And like they go over to the iPads and they're kind of going through it themselves. And so they've really taken a lot of pride, I think, on themselves, which again goes back to the core and the principles of what Coach Rule wants out of this team is being a player-led team. And so he'll step in when he needs to, but then he also allows for those guys that have taken a lot of pride in the roles that they're playing. Like they come right over and they're like, all right, I assume it's like, okay, if this guy gets this block, this is where we can. So they know like, okay, the kickoff return for a touchdown or whatever, like, hey, we were close to that. Where did we miss? And then they talk about it on the sideline together as a group. And then they adjust as need be the next time they're out there. But he's not always in on those conversations, which I think speaks volumes. Again, going back to that player-led, mentality, but then also just the pride that these guys are taking on their roles on these special teams units, and it's all of them. It's not just one or two. It's literally all four of those units are doing this kind of the same thing, and really making sure that, hey, when we get out there and do our job, we're doing it the best of our ability. In the same way that everybody else goes back and looks at immediately at that film on the iPad, the special teams guys are doing the exact same thing.
He almost willed me. You know, I felt like trash Thursday night and Friday morning. We were getting on the elevator at the same time Thursday night. He almost willed me into feeling better just because he basically told me it was a mindset. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I kind of felt like Coach Rule, like, all right, just say hi. Like, my day is fine. It's just his personality, man. He's
so funny on the sideline. Like, he's told me a couple of different things. Like, so when your team was being honored,
yeah,
and they were running out on the tunnel walk, he came up to me. He's like, I just went up to those guys and I told them before, hey, we got a COVID year for you guys. Suit up.
Yeah, he's like nuts.
Jess, I think I need you to lobby for us here. Let's see if we can get Eckler on Coordinator Tuesdays.
What? Well, he is going to be on the show tonight with Kyle.
Okay, there we go.
On Sports Nightly.
Okay.
So
we want him
Coach
a little bit
Eckler's
more.
not even like what?
We want him in a little bit more controlled atmosphere. We don't want to throw him to the masses.
Well, no, it's just the offense, defense kind of coordinators that speak, just kind of what the deal is. But I think he's okay with it. Like that's what I think is really cool about him too, is that, he just wants to be part of the team and he doesn't want to be out there. What a cool guy. And you understand why everybody loves him as much as he does. I mean, I asked Will Compton about him. Will Compton's like, well, I said, why is he so successful? He's like, well, first and foremost, he's psycho. He's an absolute psychopath.
He's very unassuming in their team setting, like traveling to and from the lobbies. Like,
for as loud as he seems, he is one that's very much okay with being like, let me fall in line type of guy.
Yep. I think that's his like superpower.
It's hard to be both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, we'll have a good time this weekend up in Minnesota. Try and make sure DB gets to the right stadium the first time, and let's see what we can do.
You think this will be the week that you can handle it on your own?
I'll try. I mean, are we going to why? Like, what's the problem?
Jess, I think you should just be in charge of the Ubers.
No,
I feel like it might be time for you to spread your wings and fly a little bit,
Oh.
So we are or we aren't? Just tell me now. We are or aren't all going over together?
I'm assuming all together, probably.
Okay. They made it seem like it was a me thing.
No, that's probably for the best. Just want to make
Ask her why she ordered a compact car for.
I didn't.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that Uber XL.
I did. I thought I pushed that button, and then I don't know. Somehow it ended up being a tiny car that pulled up. I'm like, I pushed the XL, and then the other two times I did. So
do they have Uber Black in Minneapolis?
I don't know.
Oh, that's the fancy one. You got to get like a Lincoln Navigator or something,
Hey, Jess, before we get you out of here, what do you think happens up front on the O-line?
What do you mean?
Starting.
Who's starting? I think it'll be the same. I think it'll be, unless Pritchett got dinged up. I know he was dinged up in practice last week, and he was listed as questionable. He looked fine during warmups. But I know that Turner Corcoran came in, but I think they're going to roll with what they got at this point, with Gatula on right and Pritchett at left, unless Pritchett's hurt.
That might be my favorite part of the broadcast, which isn't even going out over the air. It's getting all the information you get in pregame. That we should do like an inside.
Yeah, you think you'd listen to me like when I'm trying to tell you who 47 is?
Oh wow. We almost made it through the goddamn segment.
So, yes, if it makes you feel any better, our colleague Avery listens to your guys' broadcast while she's doing the thing or whatever, and so I guess they weren't the only ones confused about who 47 was. I guess everybody in the press box was like, "Who's 47? Gage Stanger's hurt. That's not Gage Stanger. Who is that?" And Avery's like, "Hey, it's Caleb." And then they're like, wait, who is it? And they just were like, Hey, I think she said it 3 times before. I was like, oh, it's Caleb.
Oh, now you sound like what she's going to say.
Yeah, no, I tried to tell him because I saw him put the 47 on him. And then, yeah, they were like, who's 47?
Before the kick return, you must have said it super quick. I hear everything that you say.
No, here's what so you don't like, I can tell you don't like when I talk when you're talking. Kyle doesn't, he can do it. He doesn't mind because he's used to it with the producer in his ear. So when you started talking, so I was like, Caleb is wearing, and then you said something. So I stopped and then I said 47. So apparently people heard me say 47, but they didn't hear me say Caleb is wearing.
Oh, I got you.
Well, now we know. We got to cover
it now. And she goes, and she's laughing to herself. In my ear, she goes, I told you it was Caleb. I was like, I didn't hear a word you said. And
I talked to Caleb after the game. He was like, really, Dad? Really, Dad? Maybe you should tell your dad.
I would say he also could have relayed that information at some point.
Like, you know him. He's not saying it.
No, but at least he video bombs all of our pregame segments now.
You see everybody coming before I do. We need to change how you position me.
No, because I gotta have the mic in my right hand because I'm right-handed.
You saw Emmett coming. You see everything before. My back is always to the guys.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell it's breaking you up.
I was gonna say she seems really upset about it. That's Jessica.
I'm not changing.
From Husker Radio Network. Jess, appreciate the time as always. Enjoy Minnesota.
All right, have a good day. Bye, Shane.
Thanks, Jess.
That's Jessica Coody from Husker Radio Network.
He got a bye, Shane.
I know
That's ridiculous.
She gave him one last week too. She likes Shane. I think she might be nicer to Shane than the rest of us are combined.
That's fine.
You know who's always going to be nice to is our friends over at Centris Federal Credit Union, and they want to help you make some winning moves. They've got certificate and savings account bundles, which offer competitive rates when you open a certificate and savings account at the same time. It's 2 excellent rates that can help you reach your financial goals by helping you save money. Discover more about these bundles at centrisfcu.org. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Is there a point in your mind where you know, hey, this will be the time to hang it up, or how are you going to make that decision?
No, I mean, I think those are hard to make. I think you reach a point in your life when maybe you lose a little bit of motivation, a little bit of energy, and you don't feel like you're giving those people that are looking to you everything that you have. And once I get to that point, then it's time to walk away and do something else. And I haven't reached that point yet, but 50 years old is way in the rearview mirror, and there's some other things I'd like to do in my life.
Yeah, no, we're happy to have you here still at Creighton. When you think about Alan Huss and the guy that he is, what makes him the perfect fit to take over this job?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. Number one, he's an outstanding basketball coach, and he's proven that on really every level as a prep school coach, an assistant coach, and a head coach at High Point. But secondly, I think it's his care and love for this place, this university, this community. It shaped him to who he is today, and I think those values that he learned when he was here are going to make him a great leader for this program.
All right, who is your favorite Husker volleyball player of all time?
I like Sarah Pavin.
Nice, okay.
I like Jordan Larson.
The Governor, one of my favorites, absolutely.
I think Lauren Stivrins is mine.
Lauren Stivrins, okay. A little bit more recent, great player, yeah.
That's who I was going to say.
You stole it. Any others?
I mean, Jordan Larson.
Jordan, the Governor. Who doesn't love the Governor? Oh, she is really the GOAT.
I like Nicklin Hames.
Nice, that's a really good one. Nicklin Hames, a lot of fire on that one.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Got to give Purdue a lot of credit. Really good football team. They've scored a lot of points on everybody they've played. A lot of stats, a lot of yards. And tonight was no different in terms of the stat sheet. Our kids found a way to win. It's gutsy. It's resilient. It's what Row the Boat's all about. And I'm really, really proud of our team. So no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was truly gutsy. Didn't always go our way for a lot of different reasons. You got to give Purdue a lot of credit for that with Coach Odom. He's a phenomenal football coach. But at the end of the day, it came down to the ball. And they had four turnovers. We had one. The last fumble counts at the very end, just so everybody knows. You sit there and say, I had 3-1. It's 4-1, which we were +3. And you know how much +3 means to us.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Ryan Burns. He covers Minnesota for 24/7 Sports. Ryan, how are we doing this morning?
I'm well. How are things down there in Nebraska?
We are good. No pressure, but I was asking that our producer get you on the show since early Monday morning, man. So I'm glad you could oblige, because I'm like, there's a lot going on, and if anybody's going to shoot us straight, it would be you, man. So we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, I think I might put that on the headstone to get that endorsement there. So now I got some lofty expectations here. I love it. Let's see what we got.
Here we go. So right off the bat, right, I felt like it's what I like. It's the authenticity and coaches, right? They're just going to shoot you straight. Hey, give a lot of credit to Team X, and they did this, and they're real matter of fact. And sometimes, Ryan, like, I get it, like the fan base could kind of roll their eyes, and it's about what this team isn't, but he's very unapologetic, a lot like the guy kind of that we have in Lincoln. Is that still playing well in Minnesota with the fan base? Because by now you guys got to kind of understand that's just who Coach Fleck is, right?
Yeah, I would say that I think folks know who PJ Fleck is up here, whether they want to or not. He is who he is. Wow. And the way I always describe him every single time is he's almost, he is over halfway through his 9th season here, which is crazy because now with James Franklin being fired, he is the second longest tenured coach behind Kirk Ferentz. I mean, it is crazy to kind of see how the coaching carousel works, but he is 5 Red Bulls all the time. Not just 1, not just 2, not just 3. He is 5 all the time, and that's very off-putting for a lot of people. And if that's not your speed, I get it. It's just that's the way he is, whether the camera's on or the camera's off, whether you're sitting in his office or you're sitting at a press conference. So he is who he is, and what he's done here is win like 60% of his games during this time. And it's a place that is very hard to win at in Minnesota. Jerry Kill had some success back in the day. Glenn Mason had some success back in the day, but you look at their record, they're above 500 in the conference year so far. And you look at 2024, 2022, 2021, they ended with winning conference records. So he's winning at a place that's hard to win at. And I think if you're going to do that, you have to be something that can't be normal. And PJ Fleck is many things, but I don't know that normal is something that is going to be with him.
Ryan, as you it is hard to believe that Fleck is in his 9th year at Minnesota. It never, I don't know, to me at least, it never felt like he was a long-term type of guy. He's a guy whose name has been brought up in other jobs as well. Not that I bring that up for any particular reason this week. How has the view of him kind of evolved and how people think about the job he's done here? You mentioned it's not a super easy place to win. He had the one really, really good year in 2019, I believe. Is that, has he sort of, because we saw this in Penn State, right? James Franklin's had to sort of reset his own standard, and that was used against him. Has that been the case in Minnesota at all?
That's a great question. I would say I don't think it has. I know that expectations are for, say, a place like Minnesota. You talk about that 2019 season when they go 11-2, beat Penn State at home, beat Auburn in the Outback Bowl. I think more and more fans in this market, because it is such a unique market within the Big Ten. Why do I say that? There's 4 pro sports teams in town. So you're competing each and every week with somebody for attention. And I think that this college football town is beginning to understand the realities of the situation, that they don't have necessarily the resources that a Nebraska does or a Wisconsin does. When you just look at straight, even athletic department revenue, or you look at total donations, Minnesota is not up there even in the top half. They're in the bottom 5. So the expectation would be, for at least for me, as someone who covers this program, I'd love to see a 2019 type of season, say twice a decade. Now, is that too much? Is that too little? I mean, I know that wouldn't be an expectation for, say, Huskers fans, but I think the reality is what it is here. And for him to continue to win games, I mean, he's won 8 or more games in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and they're 4-2 right now. Probably won a couple of Big Ten games. They probably shouldn't, but he's a good coach, and they have what they have for players. So I don't think the clock has to necessarily be reset. I know he flirted with UCLA a couple of off seasons ago. I don't see that happening in this off season, but I also think we're setting ourselves up, and I'm sure you're already tired of coaching carousel talk down there, but I think we're setting ourselves up to see a coaching carousel that's once in every 5 or even once in every 10 years if all these jobs do end up becoming open by November.
Ryan, let me ask you something before we move on to the specifics of the matchup. I was talking to one of our guys, one of your colleagues, Brian Christopherson from 24/7 Sports, and I've noticed just covering this team for so long, there's like this closet, and maybe it's not closet, like this vitriol, I think, that exists between both fan bases. I don't know if it was a Fleck Frost thing. I don't know if it's the 5 in a row. Brian talked about 1984 and some of the guys that still cover it bring that up. Do you get the sense that there's like this, it's an off-the-radar disdain, in my opinion? It just doesn't seem like that fan base really enjoys anything Nebraska. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it is. It is one
chuckle.
I think it is a strange one to me, because I know that from Lincoln to Minneapolis, it's not the furthest drive, but there's a lot of closer Big Ten schools, or at least a few closer Big Ten schools. But I think you think about even going back to when Minnesota won here against Scott Frost, and there was the hoodie gate where Scott Frost and his hoodies versus Fleck comes into his press conference afterwards, and I haven't seen him that fired up. I mean, I've seen a lot of PJ Fleck press conferences in my day, but he's out here yelling at the pulpit about culture over skill. And I know that riled a lot of people up. And then the reality of the situation, too, is Fleck is 6-1 against Nebraska, and he probably shouldn't be. And he's 5-0 in his last 5, and that's with 3 straight one-possession wins. And I think there is a little bit of envy there, that why can they do it at Minnesota, but we can't do it here? And that's where finally now, and with Matt Rule, with the year 3 bump, that team's playing well. Raiola's starting to figure out a little bit more. I think this is a very different type of Nebraska team that's coming to town, but I saw the Monday presser there with Rule, and I am absolutely, I'll say, gobsmacked to learn. Nebraska hasn't won back-to-back road games since 2006. That crazy. Cannot be a real statistic, gentlemen. I refuse to believe that.
It's nuts. It is absolutely
nuts. That's super depressing. Appreciate you bringing that up. So I want to talk about kind of Minnesota, the way they've been playing so far this year. Obviously, they've been throwing the ball quite a bit more than they have in years past, especially with PJ Fleck. And that was the same thing I said about Maryland coming in, and Maryland kind of went out of their way to try and run the football against Nebraska as well. Do you think Minnesota will stick to who they've been throughout the year so far, or will they try and, depending on how you look at it, either take advantage of Nebraska's run defense or try and avoid Nebraska's pass defense?
Yeah, that's an outstanding question, because Minnesota, and it is very strange for me to say this, but the truth can't be controversial, they stink at running the football. I mean, they are last in the conference against Big Ten teams with 44 rushing yards per game. I mean, it has been tough sledding. Now, some of that is because they're all Big Ten running back. Darius Taylor has missed a month, and he returned last week against Purdue. But this kind of tells the story, is Darius Taylor last week against the Boilermakers at home. And I'll remind you, Purdue is not some elite run defense in the Big Ten. He had more yards after contact than he did rushing yards.
And it seems like Feme's the better runner. Am I misreading that?
Feme has gotten, so Feme Edgeboy, the redshirt freshman you're talking about, he has gotten a lot more run because we've also seen they brought in one higher profile, I would say, type of running back from Marshall and A.J. Turner. And in the first game without Darius, he goes down with a season-ending knee injury.
Yeah.
We've seen now, this is the third straight odd year, and I say odd is in 2021. Minnesota was on running back 5 by mid-October, which is how Bucky Irving and Kai Thomas back in the day got going. 2023, they were on running back 5, and I mean, we're already seeing now, hopefully Darius can stay healthy, but they were on running back 3 and 4. I mean, Feme is the more east-west explosive type of guy where Darius can make you miss in a phone booth a little bit more, and I think he was rusty last week against Purdue, frankly. But that is the thing we've been asking Fleck about, the offensive coordinator, Greg Harbaugh Jr., as well, is what can you do to get this running game out of neutral? It's stuck in the mud. It's spinning its tires. It's out in the – I mean, it is not in a good place. And I think, to me, it starts up front with physicality. And this is among the least physical offensive lines I've covered for Minnesota.
Is that Marshall, Beers, and Ray probably that are driving you crazy?
Yes, the interior of the offensive line has been something I've been screaming into the ether that they should change the bodies, but they refuse to change the bodies because I think Minnesota's actually got a couple of good tackles in Nathan Roy and Greg Johnson out there, and I'm excited to see them match up with 96 and 15. I know 96 specifically has been just a game wrecker the last couple of weeks, and see how they end up doing, but the thing with Marcellus Marshall, who is, you're either going to see him at left guard or right guard. You look at the Pro Football Focus stuff, and I know the grades are all subjective and whatnot, but I don't consider, say, QB hits and pressures allowed that subjective. No Big Ten guard has allowed more pressures, hurries, and quarterback hits than Marcellus Marshall, yet he is at no point in the first 6 games lost his job. I cannot fathom continuing to run him out there or the same interior offensive line, but if they don't get any push on Friday night, I got a hard time believing that they're going to be able to do much of anything. And if that allows this Nebraska pass defense that I believe against Power 4 opponents has more interceptions than they do touchdowns allowed, and you can allow 96 and 15 to pin their ears back, it might be tough sledding. So they got to figure out a way to run the football on Friday.
All right, let me ask you something, because this is interesting, just because Coach Collins recruited our household so hard, and I know how he feels about tackling and versatility in the secondary and things like that. How much do you think, and we heard Coach Fleck allude to it again this week, how much do you think tackling is driving Coach Collins in particular crazy, given his temperament and kind of what he's seen previous secondaries accomplish at Minnesota?
Oh, he's pulling his hair out. I know he is. I mean, I'm the one asking him about these missed tackles. I'm the one asking Fleck about these missed tackles. They got 58 of them in their last 4 games, and now they get to play a Nebraska offense that has over 1,000 yards after the catch. My favorite stat from doing my research this week is Nebraska pass catchers have more yards after the catch than Iowa does passing yards. I mean, that is silly. So it is something to where you watch these games back and guys are in positions to make the right plays. Like, the scheme isn't part of the issue for me. It is the players are in position to make plays and they're just not making them. Now, the question is, why aren't they making them? Are they taking poor angles? Are they being hesitant? Are they thinking too much? I don't know what the answer is. I don't know that Collins knows what the answer is, but they got a big test coming up on Friday. Because whether you want to talk about Isaiah Hunter, Dane Key, Ja'Cory Barty, or even the pride of Richfield, Minnesota, coming back for his first revenge game against the team who didn't take him, Emmett Johnson, who has been sensational. I mean, he is so fun to watch right now in that Nebraska offense. I mean, get guys into space and let them cook, because that's what Nebraska does. So Minnesota has struggled to tackle in space, and if that is the case, they're facing a Nebraska offense that's got more 30-yard gains than any other offense in the Big Ten. So they better tackle a lot better on Friday, or else this thing could get pear-shaped in a hurry.
I just want to say, you mentioned Emmett Johnson there. There was an interview that he kind of a sit-down with some of his teammates he did over the summer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, don't we play Minnesota this year?" And let me tell you, he had October 17th on the tip of his tongue. He's either going to have the best game of his life, or he's going to be so wound up he's not going to do anything. And I have no idea which it is, but it's definitely going to be different.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a Minnesota run defense that just gave up 250-something rushing yards to Purdue I'll be the first to tell you, Devin Mockabee is a player for Purdue I hope I never see again in my life.
He does Nebraska fits too.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's a handful.
He had his coming out party what felt like 8 years ago against Nebraska. Apparently, he's still there.
And that was when he was a big back.
Yeah.
He killed Minnesota in 2022, killed him in 2023. Now, Purdue found ways to win those games against Minnesota. And then last week, he had over 59 rushing yards in only one game, and he comes in here and he's looking like Mike Allstott reincarnate again. So I'm really hoping that Emmett Johnson doesn't look like the last. I think isn't the stat going around there all that the last time Nebraska wore all white was back in, I think, 2016. And who was the back? Newby?
Yeah, it's Terrell Newby when he had the big game against Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't see Emmett Johnson do that on Friday. I'll say that.
Let me ask you something, because I know a lot of the guys up there in the media. I think quietly there seems to kind of be this sentiment. You could correct me, fact or fiction, that even though Nebraska's defensive secondary stats are what they are, quietly, do you guys kind of think you can make some plays? Is that just me, or is that kind of what you think?
I'll be the first one to tell you, I ain't the highest man on this pass catching core up here. They're coming off a performance against Purdue where they were 1 for 13 in contested catch situations. I think Drake Lindsey.
His passing total is 220 though. Like it's 220 for this game. They got to know something.
I'll say this. You're going to get to see Drake Lindsey on Friday night, and I think he's got a chance to be what I thought Ethan Kaliak-Manis was going to be back in the day. Ethan is performing real well out there with Kirk Shiraka at Rutgers now, but I think the processing ability for Drake Lindsey is far and beyond what it was for Ethan Kaliak-Manis in these years, and Drake's got the arm to make many of these throws. The question is, can he get guys in? Can guys get open? Because Minnesota has struggled to get separation. Now, they love to use Darius Taylor as an extension of the run game. I mean, you're going to see Darius Taylor likely catch at least 6 passes unless there is some vendetta to take him out of the game plan. They are going to use him as an extension of the run game, and we saw them go to some screens last week. But I'm not the one to sell you on these Minnesota pass catchers that they're playing particularly well right now. They're replacing Daniel Jackson and Elijah Spencer from last year, and that was over 80% of their receiver production. They need to be a lot better for Drake because Drake is putting the ball where it needs to be a large part of these times. It's just the 50-50 balls are right now 10-90 balls, and that's not a great place to live.
Ryan, I'll be honest, you seem a little pessimistic about Minnesota. How do you think this one goes?
You're playing possum, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll say this. Minnesota always plays Nebraska well, and especially here at Huntington Bank Stadium. And I'm very curious to see how Nebraska handles the pressure of now being ranked, all the hoopla around Matt Rule and Penn State this week. You haven't won back-to-back road games since 2006. I feel like there's not very much pressure on Minnesota for this one, and I think the Vegas line, and I've had people ask me, is there some injury news from Minnesota that I don't know about with this thing going from 4.5.5 all the way?
I was probably one of the guys that asked that, not to you directly, but I did ask a couple guys, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, there is no injury news from Minnesota as far as I'm aware. All their best players are going to be playing in this game. I'll say, if Minnesota's physicality is the same as it was last week on the offensive and defensive lines, they're not going to win on Friday night. They're just not. But the question is, can they play their best football of the season against a team that they've done that a lot against over the years? Now, I tend to believe that as much as it is going to be a Friday night game on Fox and everybody's going to be in town, there'll be 50,000 people in the stadium. You are what you are, and until you change that, the missed tackles and the lack of physicality scares me. So I'm going to tell you, I'm picking Nebraska in this game as we sit here today. It doesn't feel good for me to do that, knowing what I know about Nebraska in road games, Nebraska in these games, but Minnesota's lack of physicality up front is just so out of character for what this team has been for so many years. But when you look back at last week, again, they ran the ball for 30-something yards against Purdue, yet they had 250 put down their throat. Now you get a Nebraska team who I think is much better than Purdue, certainly has better skill possession than Purdue. I'm going to be picking the Huskers in this one.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. You just always keep it a buck. It's what you do.
That is our guy, Ryan Burns from Gophers Illustrated, part of the 24/7 Network. Ryan, we appreciate the time, and I hope we enjoy the game more than you on Friday.
Yeah. Best of luck, boys, and I appreciate it.
Yep. See you soon, Ryan. Appreciate you.
That is Ryan Burns from Gophers Illustrated. Good stuff there.
Yeah, really good. I mean, that's
no, he's good. A little more subdued than I was expecting.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't back down off the vitriol. Like, you can feel it.
Yeah.
He brought up some things that I even forgot about.
Oh, for sure.
So,
I mean, hey, Hoodie Gate, watch out, buddy. No sloganeering.
I didn't realize. I mean, I knew 5 in a row. I guess in its totality, I didn't think about their record, hit flex record against Nebraska, 6-1.
Yeah. Well, and man, that back-to-back road game thing. Woof. Hadn't even thought about that.
And their whites again. We talked about crossing off narratives. He's going to try to get them all.
Start checking the boxes. Here we go. I didn't think it was really funny that he just slipped that in there in the press conference. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we're wearing all whites. Peace. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.